How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
Hello, you are listening to the podcast that drinks and knows things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Doghouse. I am your host, Glenn of House Dog. With me, as always, Ben, a.k.a. Sly of House McLean.
Ahoy, hoy.
Lucan of House Black Mead.
Hello, people.
Abby, a.k.a. Gertie of House Condensation.
Hello, Glenn.
Hello,
and
Glenn.
we have a guest host. Our guest host today, Bailey Riddle. How you doing, Bailey?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Not so bad.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
What are we drinking?
Well, in honor of the end of this episode, I got some Steel Reserve Alloy Series Blackberry. I have no idea what kind of booze this is, but it's 8% alcohol by volume, and it's purple.
Steel Reserve
style. Steel Reserve.
Gets the job done.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
Get your drunk shit.
Yeah, it's some purple.
For real cheap.
Purple drink. And
Yep.
Purple drink.
It tastes good.
It tastes like a Big League Chew grape special.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it. I have a Henry's hard soda.
Henry's
orange.
hard soda.
Yeah.
That's an option. I have a jalapeno beer.
Jalapeno.
Lil Lucy's hot pepper ale. Tastes like jalapenos. Or no, those pepperoncinis you get off, you order Papa John's.
Pizzas?
Yeah.
Maybe this was like the garlic sauce, and they just ferment that for a while. All right, and I've got salted caramel brown ale. Yummy. How about you, Bailey?
That does not sound appetizing, but I have
None.
a box of wine
Hell yeah.
Black
The
box.
black box.
fully prepared.
She's seen this show before.
She's definitely going to know by the end of
I
that
knew what I was
box.
getting into.
she will know.
By the end of that box, she must.
All right, moving on to our friend of the show shout out. Looks like Lucan, you're on the clock.
All right, and I'm going to throw it to Bailey.
She's on the clock.
We put our guests on the spot for friends of the show. Obviously, you know other people in social media, anyone. Give someone a shout out that you think people should check out what they're doing.
I am going to give a shout out to my Hogwarts Radio co-host, Terrence Pinkston. He is on Twitter at Terrances, and he definitely listens to this show and loves it.
Hey, we love Terrence. He's a good guy.
Awesome.
Are you going to say the other
I
part?
mean, it's in green for the host.
In green, that's you.
You too can be featured as our friend of the show by following us on Twitter at Know and Drink.
Our show is produced with the love and support of our wonderful, imaginary Legion Patreons.
Legion Patreon.
Learn more at patreon.com/stayimaginary. News, current events. Anybody got anything? I came across a Twitter post from Game of Thrones, says, to honor the great houses and the Night's Watch with the Game of Thrones single malt Scotch whiskey collection coming this fall. So that's cool.
Yeah, so we'll probably, hopefully be able to feature that on one of our, season 5 episodes, I'd guess?
Maybe.
Somewhere late season 5-ish.
In the fall.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get some of that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, cool, Glenn.
Previous episode recap. Lucan, back to you.
Tywin melts down ice. Jaime refuses Casterly Rock. Tyrion welcomes the Prince of Dorne to King's Landing. Sansa reconnects with her favorite fool. The most interesting man in the world, Dario, replaces Fabio Dario as Dany gets pointed to Meereen. Tormund hates fucking Thens.
But does it like regular Thens?
No, he loves to fuck regular Thens,
There you
but he
go.
hates fucking Thens. And Jon gets away with murder. Hound goes cuckoo for chicken puffs, and Arya resumes her needlework.
Interesting. So today's episode is titled The Lion, the Rose, and the Wardrobe. Today's date is July 20th, 2018. We are talking about Season 4, Episode 2, The Lion and the Rose. Episode duration, 52 minutes. It aired on April 13th, 2014. Director Alex Graves. Writer George R. Martin. Benji, episode description.
The Lannisters and their guests gather in King's Landing. Stannis loses patience with Davos. Ramsay finds a purpose for his pet.
Sounds good. So let's move on to Quill and Tankard Pub Trivia. Now, I had a good run-of-the-mill podcast that drinks and knows things bullshit question ready. But I decided against it, and I got a different question. I was going to say, when Joffrey hits the pie, how many doves fly out?
A shit ton.
13.
I just didn't want to keep
You really know that.
pausing and rewinding and all that.
It's a good guess. That's a
All right. So what's our question?
Okay, 1 second.
Uno segundo.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, Tyrion's squire presents Joffrey with The Lives of the Four Kings, a book detailing the reigns of the Four Kings. Who is the author?
all right.
Oops.
And Bailey, are you typing in yours on your screen there? You're part of this too.
I sure was not.
Do you know?
Yeah, just don't hit enter. And my problem is I don't have subtitles anymore because I had to go to different means. And so I have an idea of this, but not sure.
Absolutely no.
All right.
As a book person, I feel like I should have been paying attention.
Ready?
Everybody ready?
Hit the music, Luke.
Hopefully my answer comes.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
All right, enter it up. Okay. Bailey, why don't you go first?
I have not a fucking clue.
That's pretty close. Abby,
That's my exact answer.
you had the same thing. Okay. Luke,
Oh, for real? Did she write that?
Yeah, she.
Okay, mine didn't show up. I'm not kidding. I hit my little check mark. It's the exact same answer.
I put
Verbatim.
I put
Great minds.
colloquo votar, which is not right, but he did write the Jade Compendium.
Yeah.
So I went with unknown author in the world.
unknown.
that the show could have just thrown in there for all I know.
Grand Maester Krates or Krates.
It was actually Grand Maester Kaeth.
Mumble.
Kaeth.
Okay.
Point for Glenn.
All right. I knew it was something along the line. I couldn't understand him entirely. It was kind of the same thing with fucking Frey.
He
but-
says it, but I think like Joffrey getting the Valyrian sword just kind of overshadows.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean,
all that,
I
yeah.
made sure. I won't lie. I took notes on that because I thought that'd be the question because I wrote the entire thing out, but I didn't understand what Tyrion
That's
said.
when I started running in and out of the room, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I thought you were gonna say what are the names of the four kings, and I was like, I'm not gonna remember that either. I should.
Darren the Dragon, Darren the Great, or Darren the Dragon, Darren the...
Jaehaerys the first should be in there.
No,
Should be.
should be. It was the Unworthy, Aegon the Unworthy, and let me see, I have a Bailey the Blessed, Aegon the Unworthy, Darren the Good, and
John Hammond.
Darren the Young Dragon.
Anybody
John
remember
Hahn.
what the question was from last time? I haven't listened to that episode.
Question from last time.
I just wonder. I'm not trying to get points or anything. I just
see if I can get to it real quick because I don't remember what it was, but I can get to it really
Well, how about
quickly.
can I do the opening credits and then
Yes.
you can say your piece? Opening credits: The Dink, King's Landing, Dragonstone, Dreadfort, Winterfell, The Wall, Marine. We have a verdict.
Yeah. So Abby, the question was: Tormund and Ygritte meet the Thens. What was the name of the main Then? Yeah, his name's Stir, the Magnar of Thens.
Stir of Fry.
Stir of House Fry.
Stir. Okay.
So nothing real new on our credits there, right? Same as episode 1.
I
I
believe
think
so.
so. I think pretty sim.
Still good. Good
Yep.
news.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
The Dreadfort, Ramsay, Reek, Tansy, Miranda. Ramsay takes his goyles on a hunt. Ben, go ahead.
Miranda's got that crazy chick kind of hot. You know, the one that you know you want to, but you know you shouldn't because you're going to wake up with like your clothes on fire in the front yard.
Or like in the middle of a pentagon on
Yeah.
fire.
Exactly. She kind of reminds me of the chick from The Craft.
Or you don't
know, like
wake up at all ever again.
In the tub,
Yeah.
full of ice, no kidney.
All right. Luke, you got
I had good dogs, poor girl. Like they very well behaved, well trained dogs, I should say. It's impressive training
for the dogs?
for the
that
dogs.
look like Poe, kind of?
No, these are not quite Poe. These are more hounds. These are more.
They got ears.
They do have ears, and Poe
And tails.
has no tails, no ears on Dire Poe.
No brains.
Okay, I digress. Did you think of something, Abby, or no?
Nope, zero thoughts.
All right, Bailey.
I just don't understand why Miranda wants Ramsay. Even with his power, or his potential to have power, I don't get it.
Right, I guess she's
Just as
buying in on,
sociopathic as he is, maybe.
the one horse in town. I guess.
I guess
don't know.
so.
Yeah, this is Big Daddy Boss Man's only heir, not even officially right
Well,
now, but only one in line right
The
now.
best she could do.
Well,
I
when
guess.
you're raised by the kennel master, you kind of grow appreciation for people who can train dogs and can handle them.
Yeah,
So that's why.
See, Bailey, that's why.
Dog training.
There's your
ability
answer.
Still don't get it, but
Still
I
don't
mean,
get it.
it's an explanation.
It's a reason.
Right. My note is I think at this point Ramsay is the sociopath he definitely takes the cake as public enemy number one as being more how do you say it? Just
He's
evil.
the most seemingly the most evil person in the show.
He's the
Yeah.
best hateable character there is
Yes.
right now.
He is the true
douchiest
chaotic
douche of them
evil.
all.
The douchiest douchebag.
Yeah, he's the true chaotic evil.
House douchebaggery.
You know, if we're going with it.
all right.
Joffrey, close second.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can talk about that this episode.
I'm sure we'll get there. All right, next scene: Roose, Ramsay, Reek, Fatwalda, Lockie. Lotch. Roose introduces his new bride, and Ramsay introduces his new pet, Luke.
So Roose says that he had to smuggle himself back into the north to get past the Ironborn.
Yeah.
I just find that interesting that he's like kind of haggard, getting back up here. And Roose I kind of like him in a weird way because he is kind of a quiet hard ass.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Like he's so cerebral and he just
Plays his cards.
he plays his cards very intelligently. He's
and
very
close to the chat. Like,
he's very a similar character to Tywin, but a lot more quiet, much quieter about it, and it's the subtlety of it. It's not like Microfinger subtlety. It's like, yeah, I'm still a hard ass,
Not
but
like
it's kind of a combination of Microfinger and Tywin.
Not like
if
that.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Hey, look
Yeah.
at me.
Hey, look at me.
But the
Don't you
one-
wanna hear a song.
the one difference between him and Tywin, I would say, is he actually does he shows emotion, but in a very, like you said, subtle way. But he actually shows that he does care about Ramsay, but he doesn't. It's a weird,
He cares about that
dynamic,
lineage
yeah.
portion of it.
yeah, exactly.
In a weird way.
yeah.
It's not like Tywin does, where it's like
It's all about family.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mi familia. All right, Bailey.
Let's see. I really wish that blade would have slipped just a smidge. It would
Right.
have gotten rid of so many problems.
And I think he was taunting Theon at that point, like just asking for it almost.
right. Like, he won't do it.
He's not going to do it.
Look,
'cause
Dad, my pet's so good, he won't kill me.
even though I'm being such a jackass.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this scene definitely, Roose knocks Ram down a peg, just reminding that he is not a Bolton and he is a Snow. And, Ramsay's trying to be proactive and do these things, and basically without Roose's, knowledge or anything like that. And Roose just kind of calls him out on it. And, what the fuck? And
And Abby, I know you've kind of, on the last couple episodes, have been
Like,
getting on that.
how dare you send word to anybody as, from the son of Roose Bolton, who is whatever he is.
Warden of the North.
There you go. Like, unless you are the Warden of the North, don't be sending letters.
Right.
That's a bad call.
I mean, that'd been like Rob doing something like that when Ned was just in the South, like before anything happened.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he was before Ned got taken prisoner and called a betrayer or a traitor, it'd been like if Rob started doing shit just because, right?
No, because Rob was left in charge as Lord of Winterfell in
So
Ned's
was he.
absence.
he was acting.
He was acting.
I know, and so I'm saying
And
that
I acted.
it's completely justified in their action, in taking the steps that he did. I mean, did he do the right steps? No. But he's justified in it because he's acting Warden of the North. He's acting, you know.
I mean, he definitely has the right to do it. He still also has to answer to the real.
Yeah.
It's like when
Just
Tywin
like-
comes back and takes the hand ship back from Tyrion.
Exactly.
He had to answer for all the things that he did, and then most of them got undone.
Yeah.
Captured the Lannister boys and took all these people, and everybody's mad because I didn't want you to capture and defeat the Lannisters. I wanted to draw them in, and this was such
And we have a mill.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, no, you're right. That was a funny line. But like that's the issue here.
No, I don't have the mountain dead. I have a mill.
Yeah. Like that's my issue with Ramsay here. Like stupid strategy. Maybe we should learn from this by season 4. If you want something to happen, they need to just communicate better. Faster ravens.
I think that's good. That holds true in real life.
Yeah.
Just communicate
Like-
better. It solves a lot of issues.
Look, I told you to go take care of Theon. What I mean by taking care of him is put him in a cell. No more. Like, how are you going to be mad at Ramsay? And Ramsay, you're just
Yeah,
a douche.
You mad, bro?
I just think he didn't agree with the stuff that he did. You know, if he would have went to like the grocery store and restocked on all the food, the drinks, the paper plates, the napkins.
Just keep the pantry
Didn't
full.
buy the right plates.
He bought Cottonelle instead of Wilton Northern. This is
Didn't you get
bullshit.
that memo? We're not using paper plates anymore. God damn it. God damn it.
You can wash a plastic plate and get at least 5 to 10 uses out of that fucker.
Quick shout out to those in the chat real quick. DA,
Sure.
Rich, nice to see you guys here. Hit that like button, share that shit. We'd appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And also, who the fuck's Jon Snow?
Fuck's Jon Snow.
Yeah.
That's one of my that's one of the most quotable lines I know that we
Right.
just randomly throw out there. We talk about Jon Snow. Who the fuck's
the
Jon
fuck's
Snow?
Jon Snow?
Just offhand. Nothing to do with whatever we're talking about Jon about. But oh, you mentioned Jon Snow. Who the fuck's Jon Snow?
All right, let's move on. King's Landing's where we go. Tyrion, Jaime, Pod Braun. Jaime and Tyrion share a meal, and Tyrion provides a training partner. Abby?
I'm just real happy to see Braun back. That's all
He's
I
off
have
your
to
list
say.
now
He
of
is off
worried?
my list of worries.
So we still have Syrio Fronel
Yes.
and Benjen
Yes.
and
Nymeria.
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 Those were the four at
The
the
big-
end of
the big
season
four.
3. The
Yeah.
big four on
And
the where the
season-
fuck are they list.
Season 4, premiere really knocked one of them off my list. So good.
There you go.
Happy girl.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Bailey.
To me, it just doesn't seem like Jaime is a quitter. So thankfully, Tyrion was there to talk some sense into him and get him back into the swing of things.
Pun intended.
Get his
there.
mind right a bit.
Pun intended.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Jaime, he kind of admits that he isn't good enough anymore. Toward Tyrion's just like, look, I could help you out. I know a guy.
I got a guy.
And then, later on, you see him and Braun teaching him more the dirtier side of swordsmanship. So that was kind of interesting. And Jaime, his whole life's been taught one way. Being taught a different way is just kind of different for him.
On that, it's actually really interesting that he's learning to fight left-handed, and it's like a dirtier style that he's learning. I mean, if you look at like right and left, like there's always symbolism on
Symbology.
Like, the Mal hand, the bad hand is the left hand. So like,
Southpaw.
you know what I mean? Like it's just interesting that that's the case. I hadn't really thought about it for this instance, but I think that's pretty interesting.
Right.
Yeah, the dwarf, the cripple, and the mother of madness. That is a fucking great line. I've watched this episode probably 3 times in the last 2 weeks just because having it randomly on. But every time that line, I always just perk up. Like I'll have it on background and I always chuckle. But anybody else notice when Bronn he goes, "I hear you're like your father and you shit gold." And Jaime literally reaches into the back of his pants and
his
pulls
back
out
pocket and
and-
throws the
and
bag
throws
of-
the bag of gold to him. It's like,
Yeah.
It's a little on the nose.
All right, Luke, did you have another thought? Or
I did.
Go for it.
Tyrion is really a great brother here. You know, whenever,
Good job.
good job, Tyrion. Jaime, or Jaime Lannister, is having a difficult time with this new appendage. And he knocks over the wine, and he's like, clearly embarrassed about this. He tells Pod to kind of,
Yeah.
get the fuck out.
Kind
I'll
of
clean it up myself. 'Cause-
Fucking shit up by the number.
And Tyrion's like, it's just wine. Like, it's gonna happen. We got to we're gonna work through this, but kind of like Bailey said, he's not a quitter. He's got to do it. And it's just nice to see that Tyrion's there in probably Jaime's, one of his toughest spots that he's been in for like an extended period of time. You know, there you get in a battle, you get into a tight spot, you can fight your way out of it. He doesn't have that option anymore. And it's good for them to be there, and he's kind of just doing his Tyrion things.
And Tyrion will provide a solution, whereas if it was like Tywin or someone that was bitched at him or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, because it reminds me of Bran and Tyrion. Tyrion brings the blueprints for the way that Bran can ride a horse, and this is almost like exactly the same thing. He's helping the cripples, bastards, and broken things work through those
hardships,
detrimental issues, whatever.
Get over the fact that now, all right, the path isn't just this clear.
Take your
easy,
pride out of it.
Yeah.
Work
all right.
through it.
Let's just figure out what you can do, and we'll go from there. You're not dead. You're not dying. So let's just move past that sadness.
You lost a hand. Get over it.
You'll be fine.
Death is so final.
You have another
But
hand.
instead of just saying like, what are you gonna do now? Quit your job. Go be Lord of Castle the Rock. Like,
bills. I don't like them either. I don't think I'm gonna pay them anymore.
Like we're gonna find a new way. Tyrion is the man in this episode. He is the man.
He is the man. All right, anything else to add?
The guy's name was Laygood. He had thunderbolts on his
On his shield.
on his shield.
Yep.
Damn it, Glenn, for not
I
asking
was
that.
I was ready for that one too.
Whoops.
Wait,
The guy that Bronn was fucking
fucks
his wife.
oh yeah.
His name
Is this
Laygood.
place safe? His name was Legged. Is this safe out here? Well, the way she screams, I don't think anyone's coming down.
He's a screamer.
This is where I fuck his wife.
No, Legged. I fuck his wife down here.
Some random just platform,
Just
like
broad
right by
doing
the sea.
Right. That was really interesting choreography where Jaime kind of almost goes in the drink a few times, just like showing him uncomfortable. Like his footwork's all fucked up. Which, if you think about like switch hitting in baseball, like it's fucked up. Like it just throws you off all balance.
Yeah, sure.
It's unnatural.
It is unnatural. It's just wrong.
You lose.
Good day, sir. I just watched that last night.
We did too.
Yeah.
It was on.
AMC, I think.
What is this?
Yeah, it was.
It's
Willy Wonka and the
Willy
Chocolate
Wonka.
Factory. It's a very.
We talked about it. We talked about it all weekend. We referenced it every episode this past weekend. It's come up.
Mom made me turn it
There was a
off.
lot of the trivia.
All right. Next scene, Tyrion, Varys, and Pod. Varys warns about number being reported to Cersei. Number meaning hashtag Shea Stadium. Pound sign.
Yeah, there's it.
All right. Who's up? Bailey, I think.
Tyrion's got some shit to figure out, and I hope he gets it together.
Yeah, get your shit together. It's amazing. Like last
Get your
scene,
shit together.
last
Pack it
scene
up,
he's helping somebody
put it in
else
the
out,
bag.
but then he's in a big predicament or whatever. So
Yep.
shit rolls downhill. All right. My note, not a great one, but The Heat is On by Glenn Frey.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. All right, Ben.
1987 Cardinals theme song.
I wasn't
I remember
born.
that.
No, you
Okay,
don't.
so yes,
You were
I know
born.
I'm probably the only one that does actually remember that, but
82 was Celebration.
yes. But have you ever known your father to make idle threats? Yeah, that's a pretty powerful,
I don't think I do.
no.
Oh, you're asking me? Or,
No, now that you mentioned it.
is that a question?
I'm pretty
No.
sure that's the only parenting advice my mother ever gave me. Don't make idle threats. That's it.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
The key.
That's one of them.
Key to life.
Yeah, the key to
It's key to
life.
leadership in general.
Don't make
Do what you
idle-
say you're going to do.
Yeah.
If you make a claim, stick
If
to
you
it.
don't get off the couch, if you don't want to get up off the couch, don't say, "Don't make me get off this couch," because your ass better get off that couch.
Off the goddamn
I
couch.
just let my kids run wild and do whatever the fuck they want. I don't threaten them. It's
I
fine.
don't have a whole lot on this scene, really.
We don't have anything.
I don't have anything written down. And Glenn's going to come with that out on that every time I don't have something written down on this episode, which is fine. But I just like the Varys Tyrion relationship. It's always seems healthy. Like it's combative at times, but it's usually productive still, and that's the end goal. Like I like that they both have their heads on their shoulders for some sort of for the good of the realm viewpoint.
Unlike Rob Stark or someone like that.
Well, no, I mean, as opposed to like almost everyone else in King's Landing. Oh, head on your shoulders, sorry.
Yeah.
Or Ned Stark.
Or Ned
Head and
Stark,
shoulders.
Going along with your point, though, with it, because they were talking as the conversation starts about, well, can you trust him? Can you, who can you trust? Blah, blah, blah. And Pod's literally right there,
Yeah.
hearing all of this, and they know, oh, he's cool. He's fine.
He's one of us.
Yeah.
This scene, in season 2, where they were like, "Do you trust your squire?" And he was like, "Pod, he's the fucking man."
Yeah.
He gets
that
a
was even-
he
that
gets
was
a
even
leather
before-
jacket.
Oh, no, it was right.
before his shit went
That was
down.
10. It was season 10. No, 2 after
Season
10.
10.
Season 2, episode 10. Right after.
Yeah.
it's like,
After
how much do you
Blackwater, when he
trust?
wakes up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Good call.
But, all right.
Abby, do you have
I'm with Luke on this boat.
nothing? Okay.
On this
never
Jojen
mind.
boat.
About this Jojen boat.
Sorry, I asked. Still in King's Landing, Giant, Baby, Pussy, Tyrion, Sansa, Cersei, Tywin, Mace, Tyrell, #Shea Stadium, Grand Maester, Pycelle. Giant, Baby, Pussy opens some wedding gifts.
I couldn't think of a funny thing for that.
So basically, the problem I have with this scene is Joffrey gets the widow's wail, if you will, and he just reminisces about cutting Ned Stark's head off. The glory days.
Yeah.
That he had no part
Right.
of the actual doing it.
Right.
Yeah, and then he talks about, just like when I went on the Blackwater. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Winning all these wars. He's
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
Such an stay imaginary.
He is staying imaginary with the best of them.
Yeah.
The best of them.
See, those that's what our patrons are like. Yeah. All of them are just like Joffrey Baratheon.
Yeah, be like Joffrey.
That was the worst promo ever.
no.
We have 0 Patreons or patrons or whatever you call them at this
I'm
point.
talking to
No.
2 of them right
Yeah,
now.
well, there's.
Never mind. I'll
Fail.
keep that comment to myself.
Yeah.
Whoops.
that was good.
For the record, we love our patrons, and none of them are like Joffrey Baratheon.
Yeah.
That we're aware of legally.
We hope. We hope.
Hopefully not.
For all intents and purposes.
Unless that's your thing, and then we're cool with it.
And that's fine.
Where would you
do
dig?
you,
You do you,
Whoa.
but don't tell us.
Just videotape it next time.
Sure, yeah.
Put it on HBO.
We need a citation, please. Benji.
Cersei ratting out Tyrion. It's like, bitch, he could have fucked you over, you and Jaime, so many times with Tywin. But no, but the first chance you get, oh, that's his whore. And Tywin's like, bring her to my chambers. What the fuck? You dick. Both of you. Just, even though I don't like Shay, just still, come on, Cersei. It's a dick move.
I think
That's
I
a-
missed that part of the scene.
Yeah, Shay's walking up, I think giving Sansa wine or something, and Cersei leans over
Gotcha.
to Tywin.
And she's like, that's the whore that I was
that's the
telling you
one.
about.
That's his whore,
That's
the
the
dark-haired one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
And Tywin goes, bring her to my room tonight. Bring her to my chambers tonight, and we'll figure this out. Or-
I'll show her.
Great. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
Must have been about minute 13.
Yeah.
it was
Can't
right
lie.
before the.
Actually, no.
it was right after the
It was
chalice.
because
It's right when it switched over from the Dreadfort.
no, because this was my question, and I was like, God damn, it's going to give away the question. Maybe I don't know.
What was the
Gotcha.
question?
Yeah.
Well,
who
the trivia
wrote-
question
who
was
wrote
the
that
who
fucking
wrote the
book?
book.
Oh, yeah.
This is all right in there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it was right before the book, right after Mace Tyrell given the chalice.
Okay.
Luke.
Yeah, going back to the book, it's a book every good king should read. I thought it was weird that Joffrey put on such a good face when he received the book at first. He's like, after we won this war, everyone could use with a little more wisdom. And Tyrion was like,
What the fuck?
what the fuck just happened?
Did I just
like,
grow?
even-
Did I
even
just
What'd
grow
you do
2
with my
feet?
nephew?
Because last episode they were calling each other monsters, and it's just like what? Because
Right.
even in this public arena, Joffrey is still usually just a total
Cunt.
dickbag,
Yeah.
and Tyrion is just floored by this.
Yeah,
That's not what I expected.
his speech almost seemed like scripted. Like this is the book of by Grand Maester Caith, and
Mhm.
it does all this stuff, and then the reaction that from Joffrey is just like, did not see that one.
Yeah. Do you think because it was Tywin's gift that was next, which was the sword, right?
Right.
Do you think Tywin had any idea that would have happened to? I mean, because I would imagine
book?
he did some of the planning of this to kind of align the gifts.
I don't think so.
I don't think
No.
Tywin would have had a hand
We'll
in
make
it,
sure my
or
gifts
even
last so we can
figures
destroy
it
all
out.
the other gifts.
Because
Just-
Tywin appreciates knowledge and history and all that. So I don't foresee.
he likes to get lit. Is that a literature joke?
I thought it was funny. All right. It's a dad joke. I like them. I'm a fan.
Get lit.
Can we just talk about the fact that I was holding out hope, strong, really Tywin-sized hope for that going to Tyrion, not Joffrey.
The sword.
Oh.
The second sword. And I even, like, if you watch when it's being made in, like, the open, one is smaller.
It's like Jaime and Tyrion.
This is a regular size sword to
So when
Tyrion.
he was like,
one's
oh,
a two-handed,
here's
one's a
this
bastard
Joffrey.
blade,
I was like,
basically.
what the what?
Yeah, a
No,
bastard blade's
it's
at 3/4.
No, it's not. It's 3 halves. It's 1.5. It's a 1.5 sword.
1.5 sword.
Is a bastard blade.
Oh.
It's a one-handed and a 1.5.
Well,
which is a
whatever,
blade.
bastard, not bastard, 3/4 full.
I
whatever.
agree. The way it's
it's shot, it looks like a man,
Jamie's
normal
tall.
sized, and then
Tyrion is
Tyrion's
less
not.
tall.
a sword I
And
can
then a
wield.
baby sword.
Yes, I'm so upset at this point, but it gets better, folks. So
But it gets better.
Gets better, thank God.
I sure hope so.
All right, next scene.
Nope. Bailey, you got something on that one?
I mean, it was just so painful to watch that book be massacred. I'm pretty sure I cried a little bit the first time I watched it.
Yeah, it's rough. It's almost like kind of comical how the pages start flying out. Like that's
Well,
not
it's
going to
almost
happen
like
when you hit it
it
with a
almost seems
sword.
like it's halved. Like at one point where the book just is cut in half and they just fly off. But
It's like, oh, there was a fan underneath the table. Who would have
Kinda
thought?
reminds
Right, like,
me of
there
the
was definitely
Monster
no
Book
cover
of
holding those
Monsters,
pages.
where his book is flying out
Oh,
his
yeah.
pages.
Yeah, I thought it had like a wooden like cover on top because I know like initially when like the first 2 hits, there's like wood chips, and then after that, it's just like the pages are just like
Everywhere.
just ridiculous amount of pages.
What a
Now,
dick.
correct me if I'm wrong, really quick.
Okay.
Does he reference the books in the show in Winterfell in like episodes 1 or 2 in the library? This is probably a book thing, but
In the show, no.
okay. All right. Because book wise, I know he references, hey, I've only seen like 4 of these. And I was wondering if it was this book that was, I don't believe so, but
No, because he does give. This is the same book that he gives to Joffrey in the book.
yes.
This is the book in the book.
Okay.
The
At
book
the
in
same
book.
point.
Gotcha.
There are other texts referenced in the Winterfell library.
Yeah.
That I know what you're
There was
talking
only
about.
like 4.
I don't think
Like
this
a-
is one
I
of
don't
them.
think- okay.
Works-cited
And the Jade
page.
Compendium might be one of those.
Okay, that could be. But I do remember in the book wise, he was saying that there's only a handful of these of this
Yeah.
collection,
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I think that's
definitely.
where I
This
was.
is a very rare,
collector's
Yeah.
like
item.
one of 3 or 4
Yeah.
copies of this.
Sure. All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Next we have Tyrion hashtag Shea Stadium Baron. Tyrion kicks the hashtag addiction and sends her on her way. Benji.
I have enjoyed my time with you. Or I have enjoyed my time with all of them. And I have enjoyed my time with you especially. But now that time is over. Fucker, I felt that way 3 seasons ago. Come on.
It seems like he's kind of toyed with the idea of like he knows that he's known since it started that this is where it was going
Not
Yeah.
going to work
have
out.
to
It
go
had-
to.
I had to.
Right.
It's just been a struggle
Yeah.
to watch it finally get there.
Yeah, he's trying to be nice, for a while.
That's
And
the
then
problem.
Can we do a show of hands? Who here feels bad for Shay? Like at all? Like is that no
No.
hands going up? Okay, rebel without a cause, rebel with a cause.
I mean, as a whore, like it sucks because you're a whore, and
But now she
But-
just got the ultimate. She's getting a fucking house in Pentos. She kind of got the pretty woman treatment here.
that's true.
I mean, it's like
Nobody wants to be second best, though. Nobody wants to be looked at and say, you are not fit
You are
to
a
bear
whore.
my children. That,
fair.
Glenn, I think you have the line that goes right along with that, don't you?
Yeah.
yeah, basically, he says, "You're a whore. Sansa is fit to bear my children, and you are not."
And you are not.
Did anybody else
can't
get the
believe
feeling
I'm
he
in
was
love with a
with the accent? It was shifting a little bit. He kind of went a little Ron Burgundy. You're a whore, and Sansa's not. She is fit to bear my children.
A little over the top.
It's like
I can
little
see
Ron
it.
Burgundy.
I can see
Ron
it.
Burgundy.
You stay classy, King's Landing.
Stay classy, Shay. Now get the fuck out.
Go fuck yourself, Cersei.
And I think he was kind of putting on an act there because his emotions are tied up into this. So the tougher he makes him, he stands up and tries to do this.
You
He
gotta
can't
stand
make
your
eye
ground.
contact with the whole time.
Yeah.
He doesn't look her in the face because he can't. Because you got to tell her to go because you know that you have to. He doesn't want to.
He overheard
it
it once.
though.
Well,
that's why she wanted the breakup. That's why she wanted the awkward. Then look me in the face, bitch, and tell me
Do it
this.
yourself.
Yeah, tell me it.
But he overheard Cersei and Tywin. Like, literally, he heard. That's why he was like, fuck. Well, and also after Varys tells him that, he hears Cersei point her out.
Right.
So with it, he has to, for her protection in his mind.
Yeah, kind of up shit creek without a paddle.
That's exactly where.
All right, Luke, you have another note?
It's basically
The same thing.
Yeah, reference to
We'll skip that then.
South Park Goobacks episode from the
I
future.
think I really should probably watch South
And,
Park to understand anything they're talking
There-
about ever.
It is.
No,
it
I
is good.
thought that was the Meet the Jeffersons
No,
episode.
It
no,
was
it's
episode
because it's when they
54.
come in and take the jobs, and they basically it's time to. We're gonna go and put a lowercase t in
This is Mr.
Shay's
Jefferson.
yard for time to leave.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Meet the Jeffersons episode.
I don't know. It's South Park. It's
Yeah,
funny.
Hilarious.
It's a Ku Klux Klan like thing. They don't. No. They don't realize that that's what they're saying. It's funny because they're like, we should go put a lowercase t in their yard and set it on fire. And a lowercase t for time to
The
leave.
Goobacks was they took our jobs.
Yeah,
Right. So it probably is the other one.
yeah.
But either way, Shay,
Completely offensive.
time to leave.
Hashtag time to leave.
Hashtag time to leave.
Abby, you have anything else
No.
besides
Now it's
now
time to.
that's the way you break up?
That's the way you break up. You get slapped in the face. You look at her. I don't know. It's satisfying. He said it.
Did she slap him?
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't.
It's all
She
about
slapped
that
Bron.
He said she
Didn't
No,
said.
she slapped Bron. Yeah.
She slapped Ron.
Oh, Bron totally deserved
She
it. I
showed
don't know
it.
why. He's just got
First
that
off,
face.
He's got a face worth slapping.
He does. She
Slappy
slapped
face.
somebody.
Jerome Flynn, a slappable face. That's on his resume now.
Up on the roof.
Up on the roof
Just
with a
as-
slappable
Slap
face.
face.
Just ask Lena Headey.
Yeah, that's true.
You could do that.
You'll never see them on screen together.
Nope.
No.
All right.
Nope.
Bailey.
I mean, that's
watch
about it.
for it.
I feel bad for Tyrion. You can tell he really didn't want to do that, but he knew he had to for Shay's best interest.
Right. He didn't want to put it like that. Like
But she wasn't going otherwise.
exactly.
He had to seem heartless about the whole thing in order to get her to go.
Right. Make it seem worse so it's easier to actually do it.
Well,
I-
with
yeah.
any hope, she would have just stayed and taken the consequences.
Right. Yeah. He's got to
Right,
say,
and that's what she was-
time's up.
just kind of trying to talk her way back in.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then the waterworks don't work.
he laid the hammer down.
I hate it when the waterworks don't work.
Whoops.
You gotta switch up tactics. It really sucks.
Slap Bron's next tactic.
Struggle.
I need bronze to walk around me all the time.
All right. Anybody got anything
Nope. Ready to
else
go.
to add?
Jojen train?
Jojen
Take
train.
it to Jojen train.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Shay.
All the boy.
Dragonstone, we go. Melisandre. Stannis, Davos, Selyse, Axl Rose, Florent, Shireen. A sacrifice was made to her lore. A dinner is shared, and Mel introduces Shireen to the light. Lucan.
I thought we had a pretty good Stannis moment in here when Selyse is talking about how shitty Shireen is. It's like, she's like the sweetest girl ever. It's just because she hasn't fallen into this religion that you are so fanatical about. That just makes Shireen just a piece of garbage, basically.
Right. And she wasn't a son.
Right.
I'm sure
and
it's a problem.
Stannis is like, she's my daughter. You will not strike her. That was a good Stannis moment.
Yep.
It's nice to see that him, because he does care for Shireen, and he doesn't give a shit about what Selyse thinks. You don't do that to my kid, no matter who the fuck you are. I appreciated that.
He appreciates it. And that's what I
Hashtag.
appreciate about you.
Is that what you appreciate about me, Glenn?
Abby, go ahead.
I just thought it was interesting that, she let her brother burn. Interesting.
Would you do the same?
And if you had to
Depends on
pick,
the brother.
We all know that answer, so that's all right. I love you too, Ab.
sorry, Narrow Sea.
Sorry, exactly. That's my baby. Don't ever.
Babies burn.
Babies. Oh, God, this is getting worse. All of you stop talking before I have another hashtag on my life that is not what I said.
40, so you can do 40.
We're just adding
Babies
hashtags
are for
at this
burning. Word, hashtag
point.
Abby
Burn,
lines.
Burn, baby, burn.
Hashtag baby is best kindling.
Oh, God.
Okay, anyways.
All right, yes, moving on.
Bailey.
I really like the quote. There's only one hell, princess. The only one the one we live in now, and I feel like that's really relevant to the world that we live in currently.
I agree.
And I'm not a huge Mel fan, so I was really kind of pleased with that scene.
Yep.
I concur with both of those.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that line.
agreed. Yeah, it's-
hell on earth is what we call it. So.
Ooh, baby, there's a hell on earth.
All right. My note. I have two things I want to say. This brings tears to my eyes. Masekfa.
Can you take
This-
me higher?
This is especially funny because we were watching Harry Potter Deathly Hallows
Yeah.
Part 1.
And I was like, is this where they made the Creed videos?
it literally, one of the areas that they are traveling
It has to
to
be.
is one of the places where they shot Mass Sacrifice videos.
They-
Did they? So I wasn't just bullshitting?
You might have just been bullshit. I didn't fact check
I was
you.
bullshitting.
I was trusting you here.
So that was the exact location.
That was.
Confirmed.
Same rock and everything.
My next thought. It's kind of wild that Celise has these like feelings about Shireen, being as she just watched her brother get burned to the stake without giving two shits.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's your brother, man. Like she is something else. You know, like Celise is an
Gotta go.
odd duck. She's fallen so hardcore into this cult. I mean, is kind of what it feels like.
Did you see, Lord Davis? Their sins? They're all burnt away. Did you see? I'm sure they did, my queen. I'm sure they're grateful. You know, it's like, yeah, that whole interaction where she's just giddy. She's fucking giddy about lighting her brother up. And this scene right here, and yeah, I do see the later scene with him, with Stannis and Shireen, or him dealing with that. But it makes it hard to understand why Davos follows Stannis. Because Davos is a stand-up guy of the Seven.
Yeah, kind of the voice of reason.
Voice of reason. It's one of those of, I mean, I get it. Stannis isn't entirely all in on this. He pretty much is, but he's not openly all in on it. But even right before that, he was like, you burned your family, you burned your brother-in-law. How many ships did he give you? How many, people did he bring? How many more than you? And it's like, so what the fuck? So this scene right here, this is where it's like hashtag not my Stannis, even though this is the same. This is
Stannis.
This is Stannis, but
So-
there's that's why even book-wise I was iffy on the Stannis.
Confused.
Yeah.
Basically, Davos is kind of like the angel on
It's
his shoulder, and then
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah,
Melisandre's the
devil.
devil.
the Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things. There's the conscience, good conscience, Jiminy Cricket, good angel thing that he knows that Stannis needs. And no one's going to do that for Stannis besides Davos.
Yeah,
And Davos is obligated, like he owes everything to Stannis, so he takes that very, very seriously. And so with that is Davos's duty. Like he can't do anything else. And he's not one to go against his own oath of servitude, especially as being named Hand of the King. He takes it even more serious now. So I see where it's like he has to question it, and that's Davos's role is he starts questioning all of these things, and that is what he's there for Stannis. And I think Davos knows that he plays that role for Stannis, and that's kind of his where he can take solace. It's like, I'm at least trying to make sure that these other fucktards don't ruin everything for Stannis.
agreed. And I do agree with that. It's just one of those.
It's tough though. I mean,
It's a tough
Probably
scene
details.
because I mean, I can understand if Stannis was going this way because his wife has drug him on, and he's like, okay, yeah, fine, you want to burn your brother, go ahead. But he was almost not joyous, but he not upset by it.
he's cold.
I know.
If he thinks, I mean, if that's the information that he's getting that this is what it's going to take, he doesn't back down. He's like Tom Petty. He's going to stand his ground.
What a great singer.
Terrible singer.
Mediocre songwriter.
I
I'll leave that alone.
I like Bailey. I'm not a huge Mel fan, but I will say this. I really have no idea how this scene fits in because there's two scenes and you only made one block and that threw the shit off me. So anyways,
I thought I left a gap. Oh no, after I went.
you just didn't write anything else.
I re-edited.
So whatever.
Whoops.
Mel's lipstick shade. What color is that, girl? Because that is one on point color mauve. I need it.
I would have to look again. I don't remember.
Look it up.
Her lip on point. Very good. It's
Follow
mauve.
her on-
With Shireen,
I feel
or
like
like
we
through the
need to
whole
watch
no,
it.
sequence.
not
the
with
dinner.
Shireen.
At the dinner?
Yep, when she's...
He's going to pull that up.
When
Yeah,
his-
might as well.
My gosh, it's the best. Where do I get that? What counter I gotta go to?
Probably Kmart.
Yeah, it's a Kmart.
The Kmart down the road for me
It's
closed.
a Kmart special.
So never
Every
mind.
Kmart
Is
closed.
it? I didn't know.
Pretty much.
Sorry, I live in a tiny
Well,
town.
you can't get it anymore. Sorry.
I have no more stores. It was good.
Melisandre bought them all up.
Mel, hit a girl up. We could be friends. I'd like you then.
We're Lolo.
Send me your lipstick.
Yeah, I need the
We're
shade
Loros.
batch number.
I need that. I will follow your cause.
I'll follow you
I
on
will
Twitter.
follow the Lord of Light if you share your lipstick. This is how you gain followers, people.
Yes, I just
Can
need to know what
advertise
color
on
that
this- on
is.
this
It's a good
lipsticks.
color. It's perfect.
Free
Sounds
lipstick
good.
to anyone who follows.
Me.
Maybe it's the Lord of Light.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
All right.
Anybody have anything else to add?
I'm ready for a Jojen train
Are you
expedition.
ready for a Jojen train? All aboard Jojen train. North of the wall, Hodor, Bran, Fort Sumter, Mira, and your boy Jojen on the train.
Jojen.
Bran is woken from his wolf dream and registers with Weirwood.net. So, Abby, I think you're up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, we're getting Pocahontas here.
Jojen.
Grandmother Willow
Grandmother
speaking.
Willow.
Things are getting real. And
Bran's trying to paint with all the colors of the wind.
I know. And we got a lot of wind going on. There's a lot of colors. So at some point, I think it's Ned, guys. I think it's Ned. I don't know. But he says, look, and it might not be Ned. Might be Benjen. Not sure. Look for me beneath the... Aunt Abby, do you see the show I'm watching? So...
Thanks, Griffin.
I don't know.
Clovis.
No, and I don't
I
care.
knew that Glenn was mad at me for making him change it back to minute
Do you want to know what he said?
13.41. So I didn't ask.
Do
Yes.
you want to know what it said?
Yes.
Look for me beneath the tree.
The
Is
tree.
what he says.
Damn
Okay.
trees.
As he shows
Is what the voice says.
Okay. All right.
a weirwood tree.
The voice.
All right. All right.
Is what they say
And
on
then
Yeah,
the
on
he
the
voice.
says,
voice.
I know where we need to go.
Got it.
What image do it? I feel like we need to go to. Never mind. And I just said your dog. Go ahead.
It's a secret.
All right. Yeah.
It's a secret to everyone.
All right, Bailey.
I feel like Mira is really giving Bran a chance to have a huge ego when she says, if we lose you, we lose everything. Like,
Hero
come
complex.
on, everything? Let's be real.
Everything ever.
Yeah, in fairness, your home's good. You can go home. Nobody's really gives a shit about, God, I'm blanking on
Grey
it.
Water Watch.
Yeah, Greywater. What? No, what's the area though? That
The neck.
is it? No, there's a town that they're from. Like the actual, it's Greywater Watch.
That's the name of the
I think
castle.
they just ride the train.
Okay, all right.
The neck.
All day,
Sorry,
every
but
day.
like you're from an area that nobody really cares about. You can go home. You're fine. The north's not coming that far down. South's not coming that far north. You're good. So just selfish. Ben
Well, no, they
talking.
just can't find the castle.
They
They say it moves.
That's what I was.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the GPS when there's some places where it's just
It's like the GPS in the Everglades. There are no
Yeah.
landmarks. They fucking
right. Or
move.
they're like, you want to turn off the GPS
All I
here
see
because
is
you're not
mangroves.
going to find it. It's going to tell you to go somewhere else, and that's not where we're at.
That's not where. That's good for no one.
Okay, me.
Glennie, take it
He
away.
did to kill a king's dare. I mean, he dared to kill a king's deer.
If I was that close to a horse's wiener, I'd be more worried about being pissed on.
No, Dem reads warned Bran of working for too long. So I think it was interesting because Bran's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like,
I was eating.
I was eating, and they're like, "Well, it doesn't transfer." The proteins and the nutrients and stuff doesn't transfer.
Taste. No, you're good.
Summer was eating.
Right. I can see where Bran, like mentally, where he's like, I'm feeling full. When you're starving, and if you can even like imagine eating, it's going to help you mentally a bit. Like whenever he comes back, he's still going to be hungry,
Like
but
an everlasting
I can-
gobstopper or something.
exactly like that, Slugworth.
Or the
we are real fresh on Willy Wonka around here.
schnozberries.
They taste like schnozberries.
I hate that movie.
My first thought is when he tapped into Weirwood.net, you've got mail. Here's all the information you've missed.
Right.
And Bailey, I don't know how fresh you were to new on the show. Like, were you up to date when all this was coming out new, or are you later edition?
What's your Game of Thrones story?
Yeah, I mean,
I think by season 4, I was definitely up to date.
Okay, because I remember when the trailer came out for this season, and you saw the shot of the dragon silhouette flying over the town. Everybody online was like, "Oh shit, they're getting big. This is gonna be good." And then this scene came, and we're like, "Fuck you."
this is what it was.
Because even in episode 1, we didn't see any of the dragons. None of the dragons were in episode 1, so we hadn't seen.
So we don't know what the time jump is on certain areas of our story.
Exactly. So we don't know where it's coming, but you see that shot, and you're like,
in season 4.
We saw the dragons in episode 1. They were wrestling. Yeah, we did. They wrestled over a piece of lamb before.
Yeah, the lamb chop.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right.
The podcast that never ends.
I just remember
that never stops eating lamb chops.
I just remember a lot of people like seeing that. They're like, "God, fuck!" I was so excited to see that, and it was just
that never ends.
It was a flashback, forward, whatever Weirwood fucking download. You know, it's like, damn it. But
some people started singing it, not knowing what it was.
True story. My lamb chop is at Mom's house.
Oh, it's still there.
Oh yeah,
it's still there.
We've bought. They have. Is it like a dog toy?
No. It's like a legitimate stuffed animal.
It's been sewed together a few times.
No, that thing's never broken. Might be a little, maybe thrown through the washer once. It's gonna be perfect.
Okay.
Well, because we like bought
all woodied up.
We bought a lamb chop dog toy for my dog Bear and my sister's dog Rambo, and it was like their favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
So finally, like, it got torn up.
This was the toy that never ends.
And then we ended up buying another one
There you go.
You had to.
You had to.
Have you a puppet?
I still got my Muffy doll, so my Muffy mouse.
Muffy.
But
if anybody in the chat or listening, if you can name where Muffy the Rat is from, children's TV show, I will be very impressed if you tweet us.
Feifel?
Nope. I do have my Feifel still as well. But no, Muffy the mouse or /rat.
Okay.
You know, no cheating.
Fair game. I'll give you a sticker and a cookie.
And he's had his Fievel reference on here many times.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, at least the secret weapon.
Release the secret weapon! Never say never.
So my only note on
It doesn't look like a
this
good one, but sorry.
Weirwood scene is, ooh, this is my shit right here. I love Weirwood stuff, man. He puts his hand on it and it just instantly goes to the
that's
word,
my shit.
I thing, and
Clarence Carter.
he instantly, ooh, shit, Clarence Carter, and he instantly, Undertaker eyes out, and I just love it, and it reminds me a lot of when they were in the House of the Undying, and Dany is going through her visions and all of this. It's very similar stylistically, and some of the
walks
things
through the same things.
Some of the things are the same.
Yes.
The throne room.
Do you remember some of them that were the same?
And order the same stuff.
And they ordered the same stuff. at
Obviously, the
Applebee's.
throne room.
What about the throne room?
You saw the chair.
It was snowing in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I
That
caught
was-
that. I mean,
that's like the
roof
big-
was topped, open.
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's the main one. That's the
one
same.
that I felt like we were like jumping through, like you said, stylized. I was like, hey, this is like Dany.
Yeah, it is, and we see Ned's face here. And we see him oiling up ice from episode 1, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all over the place, and I love when they do this stuff because it makes you see past, present, potentially future, and a lot of it's theoretical. Like, it's, a lot of it's
like Scrooge.
That's exactly what I was going for. It's Weirwood's
This is
of
a
Christmas
Scrooge?
past. Of Weirwood tree past. But it just makes me think of prophecies in general, and back to Melisandre. I wonder if this is the kind of stuff that she sees. She sees these visions and doesn't know exactly what it's referencing if she doesn't have the context, but she's trying. So I just feel like there's some similarities there from looking into the flames and Bran looking into the Weirwood net.
I have a question. I don't want an answer to it. But from this scene and with Dany's scene, my thought is, like you said, it's like a prophecy. So yes, it can come true, but it doesn't have to, is how I feel about it. Like, these things are going to take place unless some other course of events derail it, or you choose not to choose.
It is a
Prophecies-
classic Greek.
Yeah, prophecies only mean
literature
something to
Yes.
the person who hears it or follows it.
Unless things like status quo isn't followed here, that's how we change it. You don't necessarily have to make sure the roof stays on the throne room. So that's
You will buy Girl Scout cookies from my daughter, or else you will die.
Will lose a horrible death unless, of course, you pay. Buy at least 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies for my daughter's cause.
Anybody can beat
I wish that was a prophecy.
I would buy all the damn
Yeah,
cookies.
shit. My rule of thumb: first Girl Scout to offer, you're getting loaded up. You're gonna at least
You're going
the first
Washington,
one to
DC.
ask, and they have to personally ask me.
Of
Not
those two.
well, no. If another girl gets to me first,
That's bullshit.
no,
It's like that.
Where is
it is
your-
known. It is known. I've told both those
is
girls.
known.
It is known. I've told both those girls. If you want, I will give you a windfall, but you have to be first.
Absolutely.
Victor goes to spoils.
I'm gonna tell Lorelai to call you tomorrow and say, "Hey, for next cookie season,
She-
how many boxes you want?"
She knows.
I'll put it in a Google Doc
It's like
with
that.
a reminder.
Luke, you remember that Tim episode where that guy's selling Girl Scout cookies for his daughter, and he's like, "All right, douchebags, it's that time of year again. Time to buy Girl Scout cookies."
Yeah.
Life and
He's
times
like,
of Tim.
the Girl Scouts don't usually start their pitch off with, "All right, douchebags."
I got the girls.
I mean, if it gets the job done.
I got the girls at Walmart. I'm like, sorry, I have 2 nieces, and I have to wait 6 months to actually pick
Walmart,
them
I think
up,
that's
but-
also where you can buy that lipstick.
Glenn knows these
I know.
things.
Glenn, my
knows.
lipstick guru.
All right,
All right, where are we?
We're
Get
on.
I
back
think we're
on
going
track.
to Riddle's reviews shout out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That be me.
So-
Yeah, I think so.
Bailey, tell us a little bit about your book review website.
So I have a website that reviews books. You can check it out at riddlesreviews.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at riddlesreviews. And if you like books, it's a good place to start.
It is a good place to find a lot of books because how many books have you read this year alone?
Oh god, I don't even know. It's probably like at least 150.
That's
but
this year.
probably more.
That's
Oh,
7 months
Christ.
into
Is that
this
a
year.
is that a bookshelf behind you?
There are many bookshelves
Many
behind me.
books.
I have a serious for reals question right now. Have you read Sharp Objects?
It is on my to be read shelf.
Girl, get it done tonight.
You have
I need.
Almost
I just saw the
next on my list. I
preview
kid
for
you
the show
not.
that
It
started 2 weeks
Just
ago.
move to the top.
I know. I'm getting on it this sometime soon of the show because we talked about that last week. So I'm going to do the show for at least the first season. I'll probably read it. So
Just for you, Abby, it moved to the top of my to be read list.
Sharp
There you go.
Objects
Sharp
by
Objects.
Yeah, who's
Gillian Flynn.
Flynn, whatever. I
same
don't
guy
know.
that
Grandmaster
wrote,
Kath.
Wrong
The
girl.
that wrote
The
Sure,
Grandmaster
it's a guy.
Kath.
Yeah, exactly, Bailey.
It's
Thank
a
you.
girl.
Grandmaster
That's why I
Kath.
didn't say it.
We
It's
had
a
this
girl.
argument last week. You were already drunk.
We'll say it's a guy.
I was already drunk.
It's a joke.
I wasn't
Unconfirmed.
It's a joke.
Anyway, so check out Bailey's Riddles Reviews
We did.
website
I
at
was drunk. We had
riddlesreviews.com.
this argument.
That is correct.
That is correct, where you can find all sorts of book reviews and a lot more to come.
I mean, it's mostly young adult. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Hey,
I just started
that's
reading
fine.
Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix online.
and Harry Potter and the University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix with a Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzelli.
Harry Potter and the Rosetta Stone. You're bilingual, Harry.
You're bilingual.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'll let you put it. Whatever.
All right,
right,
let's
anyways.
take that Jojen train somewhere else.
Find us there next
Yeah.
April, and you
So-
can buy us a beer, and we'll buy you 2.
Oh, that wasn't updated.
Yeah. That's all right.
I told
Join
you.
us at Ice and FireCon.
Yeah. So I do want to give 'cause anybody that's actually trying to follow along with this, I did split this up a little odd in the first half where I know some stuff jumped around.
Good grief.
I'm just saying this is a long ass final fucking scene. Technically, all one final scene.
Best scene ever.
Well,
But-
do we cheers now or no?
No.
No, because I did cut it down to later
Final
to an
scene.
actual final scene. But
We could they're all final scenes at this point. just keep cheersing.
Champagne fountain.
Nice.
And Abby's actually here to cheers.
Nights at the round table.
I'll cheers to that.
Abigail.
She can't move.
can't
Broke her femur just by being alive. All right, Glenn, take us on a Jojen train. Where are we going?
Trojan King's
Trojan,
Landing. All aboard the wedding. Do you have something, Benji, you want to say real quick about that? Or no?
a dull affair by Dothraki standards.
A Dull Affair by Dothraki Standards.
Best wedding I've seen so far.
Giant, Baby, Pussy, Marjorie, High Septon, and the rest of the court. A cloak was draped and some words were said. I think Bailey is up.
With this kiss, I pledge my love. Does Joffrey even know what love is supposed to?
That is love.
No.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Absolutely not. I have an essay on why not.
Why?
Because he is a sadist, a sadistic piece of shit, and cannot even comprehend love.
Oh, he knows what love is.
No, he doesn't.
He just loves
Sounds right.
pain
No.
and torture and
No.
evil fucking shit.
That's not what love is.
But is
though.
that love?
That's not love. That's what gets him off.
Love is in
That's
the eye of
his
the beholder.
motivator. No, that's his motivator.
No, that's
not,
just Joffrey's king.
Yeah.
My only
Bailey's on here always.
my rebuttal is Forrest Gump had a low IQ and he knew what love was.
But Forrest
No.
was a nice person.
And he liked chocolate. So
He knew what's up.
Well, he knew the comparison between a box of chocolates and life.
what other type of explanation do you need? I mean, I'm pretty much done there. There's no other philosophical talk I need to have. That's it.
Yeah.
Sums it up.
Yeah, this wedding's bullshit. And my note is it's good to see that Tommen or Cousin Lannister was rescued from the Stark camp.
Cousin Lannister.
Was
Did you-
Cousin Lannister?
Did you recognize him? If you're looking for it, you would know it.
Yeah.
But
It's the same
so one of the Lannister cousins
The one that said, "Oh, you're here to
That-
help."
Oh, is this a
Car
rescue?
start
Is this a rescue?
is now Tommen.
No.
I did think, like, wow, this child just, like, aged very much. Because he was small last time we saw him, right?
Mhm.
I
He was
mean,
fairly small because I think we saw him maybe around.
But I didn't
about
catch the...
episode 3 or 4 last year. But
Puberty.
Shoot, I didn't catch the hostages that they got to hold. Womp womp. I guess
Womp womp.
old
Puberty
Fred.
sure was good to
released
Tommen.
them.
Yeah, puberty did him well.
Yeah, he was cute.
Is that a vote of confidence?
He kind of looks like Joffrey, though.
So
Well,
you-
like-
they're brothers, okay? They were cousins, and now they're brothers.
and they're incestuous brothers at that point.
This family
born of
tree is so
incest.
confusing.
They are not incestuous brothers that we know
Incestuous
of.
brothers.
Let's just
Okay.
be fair here.
Splitting hairs here.
I will say that when Sansa's like, "Oh, we have a new queen," and Tyrion looks at her and is like, "Better her than you."
Yeah.
It was so
Mhm.
kind. Like, and you can see, like we've said before, like Sansa kind of playing with him a little bit, or being not just.
Just being decent. Like,
They both are just decent to each other, but that I feel was more than even just decent on his part. That was kind and genuine. I was like, wow, Tyrion.
and these are thoughts that she's had directly to Marjorie. I mean, just a couple episodes ago, they were like, she kept going on about when she was getting ready to get married to Tyrion, and Sansa was all upset about that, and Marjorie was like, well, he's not the worst Lannister. And Sansa was like, oh, look at me going on about,
And
Tyrion,
you.
who's actually...
Oh
he's
yeah,
okay.
the Dr.
fine.
Seuss.
Yeah, exactly. And she... And
Some like big guys, some like small guys.
exactly.
And we're all same height, horizontal.
If you had to get stuck with
True.
him, he's not the worst person to get stuck with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd get stuck with Tyrion. I'd be fine with that. I could make that work.
I mean, even if they don't, and this is a teenager, but even if they don't ever love each other, as long as they're both decent, they will just be decent. Like,
Yeah.
They will be decent.
For an arranged marriage,
yeah. Like,
that's kind of like...
Well, and I mean,
one of the
Tyrion
best
gets rid
options.
of Shay. Like, he's a stand-up guy.
yep, for his wife.
He's like, I'm
And for
married.
their
I have to
future
get rid of my
kids.
whore now.
and for her well-being.
Yeah,
like,
she's
it
fit
just,
to bear.
And even in that scene with Shay, he's like, I had to do this to do it right by our kids, by mine and Sansa's kids, because
they are
they
eminent.
deserve that, and Sansa deserves that. And I'm sorry, the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Ben.
Abby kind of just stole my entire note, so
Okay.
You're the worst.
but yeah, no, I agree. It was a very sweet scene.
I have the fucking same note, so I'm sorry I got called on first. Don't blame me.
Copy and
your note was big T that was sweet. Mine was
You have to say
nice to
exactly
see-
that.
nice to see Tyrion and Sansa back to somewhat being cute. We have a new
living.
queen. Be better than her than you. So, but no, it was a very
Fuck
cute. No, I'm just, a very cute scene on that part. Joffrey playing up, whatever. I did like the camera shots that they chose.
Those were really interesting.
Very well done, and especially when what was being said was said, and I'll just kind of leave it there. But it is a very well shot scene.
The one that really stuck out to me was, it was kind of like I'm going to use church terms, behind the altar
Yeah.
view, you know,
Okay.
looking at Marjorie. You see Marjorie, and then it kind of, the focus of the camera changes to the crowd on basically what was her front side and the left side of
It's
the
like
aisle.
the bottom of the
Well,
cruise.
it did that with Joffrey as well.
I guess
It started on
but
Joffrey.
basically, it kind of focuses on those two, and then it focuses on the left side of the aisle, and it's like you see Oberyn Martell, you see Olenna Tyrell, all these all of these big name players, and then it focuses on the other side. You see Loras Tyrell, and like it's just I thought that one was really interesting. It's like, wow, there's a lot of big fucking names here, as opposed to like even Sansa and Tyrion's wedding, where it's like these are just a bunch of people in King's Landing, which like they're around, but like none of them are actually
None of them were invited.
human.
They're not notable.
Right? They're not. They're people. They're characters, but they're not characters. If you know what I mean.
They're hams.
They are sacrificial hams.
Hams. All right, where are we at, Luke?
My only note is, oh my god, that dress. Am I right?
OMG.
Almost, except for the mothballs at the bottom.
Right.
There was a bottom. Sorry.
The train.
I didn't even notice the bottom.
Didn't get that far.
Didn't get that far.
train.
When it comes to Marge, sorry.
She's a cute little thing.
But the
She
rest of it was
definitely is.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I even kind of like the mothball. She made him stylish.
She
Made 'em
can
look
make
good.
mothballs look good, folks. That was my only note.
That's a good
Did
note.
they jack her up and everything? Say yes to the dress? I think they did. You wouldn't understand unless you watch that show. So just move on.
I will not admit that I watched that show.
You watch it with
But
Mom.
I mean, her
Jack
hair
up.
though, right?
I'm going to call this out really quick. Alicia Kingston in the chat has a pretty good thought going back to the Tommen discussion. Tommen was an undercover when he got caught in the Rob's camp. Karstark didn't really kill him. He just escaped. You know, Tommen is of a certain group. So can't really call that out at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but I'll buy it.
I liked
We'll see.
I liked that. AK solid.
Yeah.
Solid theory.
AK, they didn't finish the thought, so I'm just going to go back and watch and see what you said.
Think of Jock and Hagar.
I
Yeah.
like him.
Think about it.
So Tommen is a Jockin style.
Tommen is a
Tommen,
jockin.
Jockin.
Tommen is a Jockin.
Tommen is a jockin.
Tommen, Jockin, Ariakin. Got it.
All right. Now that that's all super clear.
What about the Moroccan?
Oh, we had problems with that at the end of season 3.
Let's not get back into that.
Let's not go there
Misa,
again, folks.
Misa.
Yeah.
You know that
Misa,
Misa, Misa lady?
Misa
I think I just killed her.
All right. I'm up to 3 predictions now. We're almost good to be ready to be finished with this episode.
All
Abby,
right.
did you have anything else to say besides Big T? That was sweet.
No, I took all of... I'm actually just going to look through the notes here.
And make sure that you take one of the 3 of our
Actually, I'm
notes.
good to go. I've just taken
you
Just
all
start reading
veggies.
Bailey's notes. Just start reading Bailey's
There we
notes.
go.
They're not that great, promise you.
Mine are never.
Reasonable at best.
All right.
Yeah, that's
It
fine.
was like 4 a.m. when I took my notes.
That's true.
Mine
It
was
was
like
while we were live streaming Hogwarts Radio this morning
at 4 in the morning.
for
Accurate.
her in Pacific time. Yeah,
Oh. So I woke up at 4 in the morning.
I mean it was 6 for me. I mean,
But why?
well, he was actually gone before I was on the live stream. I was like, Glenn's gonna wake up and realize I'm doing this thing that looks probably weird at 6 in the morning. I looked
My
outside.
alarm went off and I was
His
like,
car's
why am
gone.
I up?
It's card gone.
Somebody's got to work around here.
You know? Lucky me.
Lucky.
Somebody's got to keep the beer
You're welcome,
fridge
Glenn.
full.
Sorry.
Anywho,
Before you get hit, let's move
next
on.
scene, Tywin Olenna. Talk of gratitude and debts. Tywin Lannister shit scold. He ain't scared of no bank.
I'm afraid of no bed.
Benji.
No, Mace. Grown-ups are talking. He really is a fucking twat. You know, as he comes running up, Mom, Mama.
Mace
Stop, Stewie.
But, you know, he stops. He fucking, just quiet, I'm talking to Tywin. Oh,
The
okay.
adults are talking.
The adults talking. Exactly.
Luke doesn't have anything here, so
I don't
we'll
have
just
anything
skip him.
Yeah, please. I missed this scene. I haven't rewatched it. Yeah.
because Abby probably.
Yeah, way to go, Abs. Anyways, I just thought it was pretty awesome. Lady O says, you should try something you enjoy before you die. Here we go. Tywin, try a little slice of Lady O. You would enjoy that. I know it.
Slice of O.
The whole realm would enjoy a slice of O and a slice of Tywin together to make a perfect
OT?
dead
OT. So you go overtime.
T.O.
I mean, they're both widowers. OT.
I
Overtime,
didn't even
baby.
know. I didn't even care.
Bam.
I did know that, actually. But it didn't matter at that point. They should just, hook up, shack up.
You think so?
I definitely,
All their
100%.
kids are getting married.
I don't
So
give a
why
shit.
not? Why not them?
They're
I
the
mean-
ones that only actually get shit done.
Just do it.
Just be like
Nike.
Nike. And just do it. Yes, they would be the best. So you have like kind of humanitarian, more like practicalness with the Lannister, like hard slicing truths or whatever you want to call them. If you could just merge those two together,
Yeah.
unstoppable. Maybe we could make Tywin more likable to the norms.
Well, and Diana's like, you can dance if you want to. You can be
leave your
friends
friends
behind.
behind.
But if you don't dance.
But what happens when the decrepit bumps up against
It's
the non-existent
non-existent.
Sure.
Elena line?
Yes.
I think Tywin's packing though, so
I think
they can make that work.
Tywin has got it.
Got it
He'd be
going on.
fine. He can
I
dance.
mean, he can gut a deer.
He can. Yeah, apparently. He made it look good on TV.
It's like one of those dating websites for like the old people or whatever.
Old people,
Our time,
Our
ourtime.com.
Yeah.
oldpeoplemeet.com. And that's MEAT.
Carbon dating.
I mean, if
Carbon
that's
dating
what you
dot-
need, go for it.
So we've always Glenn and I made the carbonating.com joke like as a geek thing, but I think it works for old people too. I think it almost works better for old
Carbon-
people.
Sure.
The carbon mating.
Carbon mating. Oh boy.
Hey, Ben, do you want to share some of that?
Absolutely.
Purple drink.
Purple
You
drink.
want to share some of that purple
Really
drink?
quick, what was the other one we thought? And if you can't think of it, we'll just move on. But
Carbon
there was another like gem.
I'll try it.
Okay.
Westerosi retirement. Huh,
No.
I don't know. I know. I'm
Bailey, do you have anything for the scene?
No, I mean, Benji kind of said exactly what I said.
Oh.
Way to go.
dick.
Jeez.
In fairness,
Way
my
to
notes are
go.
actually on here.
Worse.
She doesn't have a note on there.
To be fair, he took his notes before I did.
Yes.
He's a good student.
No, nobody else had done the notes for the entire show.
I
So
mean, I was second. I wasn't.
You
that
were,
far
yes.
She
behind.
almost, our guest
I know.
almost did the
I know
scene
she
note
was
for
like
us.
3 scenes behind me the whole time. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I come up with how to describe the scene, but then I come up with my. Damn it, Bailey, you're catching up.
I gotta head her off at the pass.
I hate that
Overachiever.
cliche.
Okay, so we will move on to the next scene, which has Bronn, Tyrion, and Pod.
It's got Braun. It's got Tyrion.
It's got the Bronzes, the Tyrionses, the Podses. Bronn, Assure, Big T, hashtag is aboard the Jojen train. Luke,
Bye, Felicia.
Felicia.
That's all I got. That's all I got. Bye, Felicia.
I wish I came up with that.
It just I just read the thing again. I didn't see this part of the episode today when I was watching through because I was setting up the stream shit.
Right.
But
That's
I
what
was
you
like, I
would've
just looked at
probably-
the scene description. I was like, oh yeah, bye, Felicia.
Sounds
Oh,
about,
I should just say
sounds about
bye,
right.
Felicia. So everyone tweet that now. Hashtag bye,
Bye,
Felicia.
Felicia.
Yep.
On it.
Yeah, Heavy.
Oh, hi, I've missed Braun. That's my only thought.
That was. I think you said that the last time. That
I-
was a Bronn scene.
I'm memorized by him.
Mesmerized.
Yeah.
You're memorized.
You remember?
Oh, no.
You
I'm
remember it.
recognized right now, I guess.
Felicia.
Mesmerized. I can't believe I just did
Mesmerized.
that. Can we
I am
just
so.
edit that
I am
out?
so. All right, everyone who's watching live, edit that in your brain.
Please keep that for the record.
I need
just-
a zapper.
Yeah, I wonder if
The
the
lighter click.
Yeah.
Everybody look at the video.
MIB
Go on.
deneuralizer.
The neuralizer, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just watched another movie with that in it, or a show.
Think of it later.
Incredibles 2.
Oh,
That's what it was.
spoilers. Fuck.
Don't feel so
I
bad.
haven't
And it was
Say-
just the
I didn't
neur.
even see
It was
the
just the
Incredibles
neur.
one.
It was just the neuralizer, not the deneuralizer.
I think it's actually just a neuralizer in MIB.
That's
Tony
what I'm saying.
gets zapped.
I don't know about. I don't know about that one. I'm saying neuralizer.
Oh yeah.
That's yeah. You said deneuralizer.
Neuralizer, deneuralizer.
I was wrong.
Neuralizer. Who gives a shit?
Hey, that's a first.
Bailey.
I say I'm wrong all the
Before
time.
they
Go
keep
drink
talking about
until you
neuralizers.
feel like you did the right thing.
Right.
That's how I feel quite often.
Right. Just drown the
drink.
sorrows.
Go convince yourself
I
with
fully
alcohol.
get behind that advice.
That's a good movement to get.
Yeah.
We could, as a show, I think we can support that.
Right.
I agree.
I had nothing on this one. I mean, it was just like
Yeah, me too.
He would just like, did you see her get on the boat? Dude, fuck off. I did my job.
Ron was so vague in this whole scene. He never said, "Yep, I saw her."
True.
But he's also being like a bro.
Yeah, he's
being
like, dude, just chill.
Get
cool,
your brain
dude.
off it.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep dwelling on it because if you're just going to go down that rabbit hole and just be still worrying about it. Like, get the fuck over it.
Yeah, dude.
Go get drunk so you can forget and not think about it. Like,
Let me just say this. Do you know this?
Do I know
A
this?
bros know bros with no bros.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what this is from?
No, I don't know what it's from. But
Teen
it makes
Titans
sense.
Go. It's my favorite episode ever. A bro is no bro with no bros.
All right then.
Boom.
The more you know.
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go.
Team Titans?
Team. No, teen.
Teen
Teen.
Titans. Okay.
Titans Go.
I thought they were a teen.
Young
That's-
adult
that's
Titans.
like young DC
Yeah.
superheroes,
Is
right?
Robin,
So they're not a team, though.
the mechanical guy that was in just the new fucking
Whatever,
DC
the
movie.
girls have to
That one guy.
walk up the mountaintop to be the bro, the ultimate bro. And they have to figure it out when they realize
Raven.
a bro is no bro without bros. So they do it together to give the bro fist bump. Yep. No. All right. There you go.
Yeah. I know Robin and Raven. I can't think of the other ones.
Whatever.
which
Bros
one?
the
are
very
bro
bottom?
without bros.
Milfadile.
Call me Jon Snow.
The next line. The next line
Who's
over.
Jon Snow?
Cougar Life.
He knows nothing.
I found a really cool shit that you
It's
said.
not. I don't think it's it. We'll figure it out. Okay, they're telling secrets over here, so we will move on.
Moving on.
Did anybody have anything else to add?
Can we take a Jojen train to the next scene?
We're going about 30 feet.
Elena,
Slow train. This doesn't go very far.
Sansa, Tyrion, Marjorie, Giant, Baby, Pussy.
It still gets me every fucking time.
Why?
And it's just so funny, and we can't use it after this episode.
No, we got one more.
We can reference.
We got one more.
We can reference
Giant Baby Pussy.
GBP.
Pour one out for Giant Baby Pussy.
Nah, I don't.
I'm okay.
Or
I
not.
won't.
Anyways, Elena gives Sansa her condolences, and Marge and Joff promise some food to the poor. Abby.
Very good.
Abby.
They really want Sansa at Highgarden. Like, this is offer number like 4 or 5 about going to Highgarden.
Get your ass to
They make
Highgarden.
another offer here, like just
Maybe your husband can
for them to go as a
suggestion.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe your husband
Go
can sell a
visit.
mule now and
On
get you down
vacation.
to
You
Highgarden.
will like Highgarden.
Ride
Go
the-
see Highgarden.
Ride the duck boat.
Marry my
Ride the
brother.
duck
Hey,
boat.
hey, that's too soon,
Too
assholes.
soon,
Too
Glenn.
soon.
Edit that out for
I
real.
caught, yeah.
I thought it
I mean, I know about the hat.
No shit.
way too soon.
My bad.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
my heart just... Sorry,
I didn't even
Glenn.
catch it
I
until
went too much.
in fairness, I didn't catch it until you said something.
Too
So,
soon. Okay.
all right.
anyways.
Anyway, move on.
But, like, this is like offer number 5 or 6 to go to Highgarden. Well, why do they want her there so bad?
Because it's beautiful, and
It
she
is
would like
beautiful.
it. Get her the fuck out of King's Landing.
But I want to know, do they want her there so they can control the North? Or do they want her out because Lady Olenna and Marge are like, get this girl out of King's Landing?
That's how I feel about
Yeah,
it. Like
but-
they just actually care about her as a human at this point.
Yeah,
Like, they know
they don't have control over her. They can't control her. But
Because Game of
I can
Thrones
be-
have
I can be
made me
convinced. I mean,
so
either way.
jaded in general about trusting people. You know, what's his name?
Yeah.
Asshole dude.
But
Microfinger says right off, don't trust me. And then I trusted him and I was wrong. So,
yeah.
you know,
idiot.
Now,
you dummy.
now with
But
the,
all I'm
It's not your
saying
fault.
is, like, I feel like they want her there so badly.
Because if something would have happened to Tyrion and she was in Highgarden,
Yes.
that's real easy to make that next move.
but also Tyrion
Are
they-
there
is
ulterior
a known
motives?
friend or is a known not accomplice but able to be worked with. Now Tyrion
With Lady Olenna.
with a Lady Olenna, like they can like that meeting they had about the wedding. Neither one of them got what they wanted, but they got what needed to be done. They made a compromise. They were able to work together. So I think she'd be fine with bringing Tyrion down to Highgarden as well, because then maybe he could use his influence.
I think that's not wrong, because I think Lady Olenna is smart enough to see that Tyrion, although a Lannister and is going to back, Tyrion is not Tywin and he is not Cersei. They're dealing with a different beast.
Yes.
A reasonable beast.
Exactly. So, I think it's a dual-edged sword of they care about Sansa. They want her to come down, but they also want their connection to the Lannisters tied up where they have access.
Okay. Bailey.
I mean, do we really think that Joffrey came up with the idea to give the food to the poor all on his own?
He was gonna be out giving the food to everyone himself. He was gonna go stand right out there, just yes, I'm saying yes. It was. I'm not saying it was his idea, but he was being virtuous to his people by his own free will.
Sure thing.
Hence the sarcasm. I think I
for the kids at home, if you can't tell,
I think I landed on
being
thick enough.
sarcastic.
We know where
this is going.
Do go on. We know where this is going, so I'm going to reference that end scene to this scene. We know he dies in this episode. Sorry, spoilers, but
breaking the fourth wall, man.
Like clearly, he's pretty pussy whipped on a lot of things already, at least politically. Am I wrong on this? Like, he does her what she wants pretty easily.
Because she's played. I mean, she's played it perfectly.
She is showing him a side of it. Like, this is like the ulterior motive behind it, not necessarily.
Sure. It's still
like,
productive and positive.
Yes, I want you to go do this, so you're going to do it.
Do it.
I think she shows him kind of like, if you kind of stroke their backs.
And maybe the pussy whip comment was a little heavy-handed, but
I don't ever
scratch my back and I'll scratch your back.
I don't ever want to like justify for him, but
my point being, if he doesn't die here, and maybe that's more of a speculation that we can get to later, but like, does that continue? Like, does she start shaping him more and more and more until where he actually potentially isn't so terrible because she has him on a leash?
See, I don't not on a personal level, like to the Tyrion stuff, to the general public. Yes, she makes him 100 times better in the long run. To the council and the close court, no. He can still go on and do whatever the fuck he wants. She knows it's the overall
until she
image.
pushes him too far and he turns on her.
I think
yes.
I think Cersei kind of realizes that she has a big influence on him, or is gaining a big influence on him, to where that's why she's worried, I think. And
Cersei's worried about losing her power. That's
that too, yeah. But you can see like the tides are turning.
The tides, they are changing.
Which, kind of tie into, I think, the next scene.
This was just like a random thought that I had like for the first time right now. So
too soon.
Let's go ahead and Glennie, keep it going.
Do you want me to keep it going?
Well, I mean, you're hosting.
I mean, I'm hosting.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, and shout out to, I had the band's name and I didn't, the musicians in that scene. They actually.
Oh no,
they're an Icelandic band. Something Rose, I want to say.
They were the guys that were, I guess, playing the Rains of Castamere.
Yeah, and one of them actually got pelted with a coin.
He threw the coins at him.
Yeah, well, like the actual actor got pelted with a coin to the face, or the singer.
And it hurt.
What? Yeah, it was like hurt. It was like shit.
So my thought about this scene. Marjorie McLaughlin, for just 25 cents a week, you can feed the poor.
and save a kicked dog.
And the in the arms of the stranger.
In the arms of the stranger.
Far away from here.
Like north of the wall.
Take it away, guys. Yeah, start harmonizing, please.
All right. Let's get back on track.
On the Jojen train.
On the Jojen train, which is a track.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to say that. Never mind.
Sir Loras. Sir Jaime. I guess I'll go. Loras gets the last dig at this point.
And neither will you. Yeah. That was my only note with it. It was a quick scene between the two where Jaime was like, you're never, if you marry her, she will kill you in your sleep. And if you actually get her pregnant, she will kill the children. you know. So it's just like Jamie's trying to be playing the big dog again
Yeah.
to, you know, a lesser person. And Loris is just like, yeah, neither will you. You know, he just in there taking it basically until he's like, fuck off.
That's funny because like I don't look at it as. I guess it is big dog, but like at the same time, really
Big dog and
Oh, boy, howdy.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Too much doghouse in the
Too much
doghouse.
dog.
But like I almost feel like Jamie's being like, "This isn't gonna be good for you, bud." Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like it's bad for you because of me.
True,
it's bad
but-
for you because of Cersei. Like,
True,
Right.
but he's looking out for her more so. Like it's 95% Cersei protection,
This wedding isn't
5%.
happening anyways. Cersei's already said so. It is known.
it is no.
It is
It
known.
is known. Yeah, but the way
I
I
mean, no spoilers.
the way I saw it was that Jamie was just saying that, and I think Loris thought that it's because Jamie wants Cersei.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. I
So maybe-
completely agree.
It's like, oh, I'm trying to save you, but
Like
at the
Jamie
same-
was trying to be altruistic to a point, I guess, where you're coming from of
That's my girl.
And
But-
again, I didn't
Loris-
rewatch this just right
Yeah.
before we did this, so I'm going off of. I'm
Yeah.
also
If anyone-
devil's advocate.
If anyone's gonna make love to my sister, it's gonna be me.
it's going to be me. It's not me.
Jasper.
No, Jasper. That's
Tyrone Biggums,
yeah.
or no, was it?
Tyrone Biggums. That's
Or is
the
it
that's
Leroy?
the black white supremacist, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
referencing. Yep. All right. Anybody else have anything else?
Nope. Two
all I got.
two bros.
Nobody
just
had anything.
throwing out.
Okay. Brienne, Marjorie, Cersei, Giant, Baby, Pussy, Gran, Maester, Pussy,
Hey, he was trying to get some Grand Maester pussy.
Grand Maester trying to get some pussy. Brienne gives her congratulations, and Cersei gives her thanks and orders the Maester to have the food given to the dogs. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, who was up? Benji, I think.
I'll start with this. I feel bad about this note, but I just had to put it out there. You can never really tell how big Brienne is, like the actress, Gwendolyn Christie. I never really realized this. She's 6'3". Most of the time, because she's next to like Jamie, who's relative height, but in the scene with Cersei, who's only 5'5", and you realize that's a big bitch. I mean, like it's kind of one of those. It's like
Yeah.
even Catelyn Stark, who I think I didn't look up her height, but she's a taller person, or at least was in lifts or
last
heels.
episode when she was walking around with Marjorie, I mean, Marjorie's 5'6". I mean, it shows.
Yeah.
That's tall.
Typically, like in other actresses, she has looked tall, like
Marjorie.
comparatively.
Yeah.
And so, like, then you see her just being dwarfed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess I probably just overlooked it, but this one with her and Lena Headey, I was like, damn, okay, and
Yeah.
but like
Cersei looks up to Brienne.
Lena Headey, Lena Headey is what I had.
So basically,
I always read. That's
But
how I always
her
read the
hair's
name.
Awesome. Like now that it's like all like washed,
Oh yeah,
her hair looks great.
right,
Brian. Oh yeah,
Brian, yeah.
and both gorgeous.
right. Yeah, Brian could definitely play for the St. Louis Surge.
Yeah. Was that the women's football team?
No, the women's basketball team.
That's, okay. Yeah.
They've won like national championships or something like that.
And no
The
one
past
knows
like
about it.
3 or 4 years.
And no one
Right,
knows
they're
about it. That's-
complete badass motherfuckers.
and
We got
that's-
fundamentals.
That's disappointing.
Yes.
Right.
No, agreed.
More than Glenn should know about this
Yes.
in this room.
Yes.
So there's a billboard on 270, I think.
I don't drive anywhere.
Oh, really?
That's not true at all.
I
He doesn't drive.
I have like a
Yeah,
3 mile. I have like a
that for
4
you.
mile radius from my
He
house.
does.
That's all I drive, pretty much. So
I
Yes, sir.
wish.
They play at I think they play at WashU.
Yeah.
They used
Washington
to play at
University in St.
UMSL.
Louis.
That's how I found out about them.
Gotcha.
I was going to UMSL at the time. They played there. Now they're playing at WashU
Because they're championships.
because they
Year,
champions
back to back to back
back to back to back national champions.
Dang. Hey, Ray Charles, get in this shit. Come on.
Luke's
Jesus.
wearing some Ray Charles esque glasses here.
I think
Thanks
those
for
are
the
my
shirt.
glasses.
All right. So I said my
Oh.
piece.
Rocking it.
I don't even know.
Luke, you're up.
So at the end of
You can see.
I can't see
Right.
anymore. One thing. So I'm gonna take these off. So GMP is in this scene. Does he do something real squirrely Danish? Like,
I mean, he was rubbing up on the serving girl.
yeah. So there's a
Back her
cut
into
scene.
a corner.
There's a cut scene from season 2, I think, where it talks about like it's Tywin fishing and GMP walks up to him and he's like, "Why do you keep putting on this act of like being totally old?"
Yeah.
I just think it's so. That's a really good scene.
That should have been left in.
Definitely check out
it
that
was season 3
scene.
because it was when Tywin was back in.
Yeah, it was early. It was from an early season 3.
But yeah,
He asked too why he was acting so old.
GMP
Pycelle. Because you've seen the scene of him with right after the horror leaves in season
and he
2.
does like calisthenics, and
he's fine. He can walk.
That was,
and then
that
he
ended up being Roz, I think.
It was Roz.
that was the Roz scene. Yes,
She wouldn't
So
know because she doesn't know what she looks like.
I do now that she's
now that she's dead.
She gone.
Then I was like, dead.
Too
Is
soon.
She dead? She dead. Yeah.
she's dead.
So Tywin asks him here.
No. There was a deleted scene
Okay,
in
this
season
is-
3
alright, I was like, I missed something.
that I think plays into this, where Tywin's like, "Why do you keep up this act of being really old? You know, like way older than you actually are." And it's just interesting because, like, in that scene, Pycelle like stands up, talks fucking normal.
What's his reasoning? Does
Like
he give
Maester
a reasoning?
Basically-
Aemon old.
Right, he's acting Maester Aemon
Because
old.
it gives him more.
Prestige
More-
and like people don't
More vulnerability.
Yes, people
They don't
don't
mess
question
with
him
him,
as
question
much,
him.
and he's less
He's-
of a
he's more-
less of a threat.
He's
and-
wise because he's so old.
I have another question.
But I'm glad that they've added, and this is a true thing from the books, which is really subtle in the books if you don't know about it. And I think the show put a lot more of a spotlight on this in the books for a lot of people of how much diddling Pycelle does of young girls
Okay.
in the books. Like it's really, there's a scene where Sansa, it's like,
Is diddled.
yeah, Pycelle touched her all over, and it's
Shows,
like it's like a real
shows
quick
on the doll
line.
where-
But if
where
you're
he
not
touched
thinking
her.
about it, you wouldn't notice
It's
it.
just like.
And I'm glad the show has been like, yeah, no, he's a fucking creep, and just kind of put that to 10, you know, in side scenes that you just wouldn't get in the book necessarily. But my real note here, do you have a thought on that, Ab?
My only thought is one, I'm going to jump on Benji's mic so I can type to all you people in chat. And two, I have a question about the fact that it's real important here. Joe would like to know if he could borrow some ankle socks.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. All right. No other thoughts.
Okay, yes. Not your average Joe can
Yes.
borrow some ankle socks from Luca Ferocious. That is now an official Drinks and Nose thing, and that will live forever on audio. But at the end of this, you know, Cersei is talking to Brienne, and she's like, "Do you love him?" You know, because clearly she's like, she plays the card of like thanking her for like getting him back, and kind of like that PC political card. And then at the end of it, I think she kind of gets the gist of, okay, he's pretty easy to fall for, and if she knows anything about Brienne, she's someone that falls for the right person. You know, like
Well,
she
'cause she-
picks a person and falls for
Could
Because
you
she calls
learn
that.
to love him?
Because she calls that out too. She's like, so you went from
You see me
supporting Renly to supporting Catelyn Stark
I'm
to
alright.
following my brother. And all that, and you know, even she calls it, or Brienne calls it out. She's like, "Well, he saved me more than once," and there you can see a loving glint in her eye.
At least like a mutual respect that could easily be
And I go back,
exposed.
I go
as-
back to the brother sister love. Like, you know, she loves him like a brother, kind of. Yes, you know. And when she and that's the thing when Cersei asks that, that's
definitely loves her like a sister.
like he should love a sister. That's where I'm going with.
So.
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna delve into all this.
Right, because you guys know and I don't.
No.
At
It's
least you don't.
no. This is a whole. Oh,
Oh, we just got told to fuck off by our guest.
She left us.
Well,
This is a
let's
bad
do this until she gets back.
Okay.
Keep going.
okay. So, but there's a whole speculations. Hey, hi, Bailey.
She's back.
and she's back. So
From outer
I died
space.
for a second.
yeah, there's all speculations and everything of Jamie, Brienne, shippers. I stick by it's a loving brother sister, what a brother sister should be, and that's when Cersei asks him, "You love him?" Brienne pauses and hesitates and doesn't answer because she's like, "I do, but as a brother, as somebody I care about." But I don't think Brienne really looks at him sexually at all.
Really?
Jamie might.
I look at Jamie sexually. It's a good looking guy.
That's
Yeah.
very good look. I'm going to recant my
That's a good
statement.
hand.
God,
Okay.
that
at
golden
that
hand,
hand.
baby.
So I made
oh
some
yeah, baby.
unfortunate statements early on in this recording of this podcast. Where I was like, Jamie's just the grime. He's dirty. You don't touch that.
Now
He's not so grimy.
once he takes a bath, he
He's
cleans.
taking
He
a
cleans
bath?
up pretty good.
I've seen a little more
But
cleanliness out
I'm
of him.
sticking by my theory of it's a mutual platonic love. Is the best I can put it.
They drink, they eat plutonium together.
I don't think somebody that saves your life, not even just like, oh, here, let me help you out as we're going out together, but turns around and saves your life, you just think about them platonically forever. Like, it can turn into that. You find somebody else
Like they'll go on a picnic together or something like that.
Yeah, like, hey, bro, thanks for saving my life.
Thanks
Like,
for cutting up my
Maybe
meat.
not necessarily like romantic at this point.
But at some point, she's sucking dick. That's it. Like, that's the bottom line. I'm sorry.
At some point, she's sucking dick.
I am
You
glad.
Took me a second to realize that you actually said that.
I'm sorry. You saved me from a bear in a fucking arena.
Yeah, but she saved. I mean,
Fine.
okay, I can say straight up too. You know what?
That's
you,
what it takes.
So
Sucking dick.
you saved me from
that
fucking drowning in a
Is that
fucking
before,
bath.
during, or after the picnic?
Boys eating some carpet.
Feed me first, you know?
Feed me and I'll blow ya.
Right.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, what the?
Oh,
Did-
that
Yeah,
wasn't supposed to happen.
you
I
literally just said bye, Felicia.
I was talking to Terrence, who's heading out of the
It's
chat.
that.
And then you cut her off.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I did nothing to Bailey.
I did nothing to you.
Oh, that was
There
weird.
she
Okay,
is.
so
Alright.
so Bailey, any thoughts? I know we're rambling here, and so
Sorry.
I mean, that about covers exactly what I was thinking.
Sorry.
At some point, she's
Hard truths over here.
Glenn, write this ship. Write this ship. Get us on track.
Abby, that's all you have to say.
Just
That's
sucking
all
dick
I
as
had
you
to
say
say
from a
about that.
bear.
Sucking
Yeah,
dick.
sure.
Bailey, you have anything else to add? Or?
Nope, I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's similar to what I put too. I didn't
You have
maybe
the
go
same
into
feeling?
depth about sucking dick or anything like that. I was just saying Brienne is kind of on the radar now as a threat to Cersei's man, I guess.
She doesn't want him. Why the
yeah,
fuck does
she's
she
already said you were too
care?
late.
You lied.
You took too long.
Left me.
Yeah,
Don't
but-
forget that Cersei is the worst. Like
Why the hell does she care?
because she can't. She will not let it go. That's Jamie
She said,
is
but
her
it's
property.
Like the
Yeah, as I said,
you don't
Miranda
show
doesn't want
jealousy.
it.
Miranda's
No one
the
else
crazy
can-
ex-girlfriend. Cersei's the crazy ex-wife.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That
Did you say Brienne's a crazy
I
ex-girlfriend?
said Miranda.
Oh,
As-
sorry. I was
call back to
girl
earlier.
from girl from show is the craziest.
New girl from show.
The new girl.
New girl from show. Actually, no. Miranda is a book character. So
Miranda.
all right.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Sorry. That took a turn.
Okay,
That definitely took a turn.
let's just go to the next scene.
Let's go to the next scene.
How about that?
Jojen train. Instant train. Jojen Hyperloop.
Trainman, Cersei, Tywin, Obi, Hilaria,
I just didn't feel like typing it all out.
Oberyn. Talk of gout, crowns, and the pleasantness of child murder and rape. Bailey, why don't you leave this one off?
Please save us.
I mean, child murder and rape is so fucking pleasant, right?
It is.
In King's Landing, anything goes.
You betcha. In other places, the rape and murder of children is considered distasteful, and that's all I have to say about this.
I love Oberyn Martell. Like he's
a good guy.
so cutting on the way he like gets right to the point of this is why I'm
He
here.
gets it.
He is the male equivalent of Cersei.
Say his name again.
Oberyn Martell.
Oberyn, not Obi.
Oberyn.
No, Oberyn. Yeah, sorry.
Oberyn. Okay.
I should because that's the first time he's been
Prince of
mentioned. Yeah, our first time I typed him in.
I
so
have
yeah.
lots of questions about this. It's really shitty that our recording's going long.
Well, you weren't here for our episode 1 with
Yesterday.
the introduction
Yep.
of
Yeah.
Oberyn Martell.
Yep. So, pause. Let me get this straight. Oberyn Martell
pause.
is Rhaegar's wife's brother.
Yes,
Yes.
Rhaegar's brother-in-law. Yep.
Okay.
Second
and-
brother, like
So there's
younger.
an older brother,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
him, and the older brother is the Lord
The
or whatever.
the
the-
warden
Sure.
of
The
Dorne,
guy.
whatever.
Great.
Yeah.
He's the
He's also a prince of Dorne.
head honcho.
His name is Doran.
He was supposed to come to the wedding, but he didn't.
because he has gout.
He has gout.
Whatever.
He has a bad
Bullshit
case
lie.
of the
Got
gout.
it.
Rich man's disease.
Got
I don't
it.
know what
Okay.
the chicken pot pies are made
Just
of.
kind of like you know.
The
But
struggle.
everything's magical down
So
here.
he comes in.
Lunch lady lad.
I'm just trying to make
Glenn's just still going through this whole fucking
it's
song.
fine. I'm just trying to make sure I'm tracking
Yep,
correctly.
no, you're
Yes.
on it.
and
You're
he's mad that
Elia Martell, who is Rhaegar's wife,
was raped apparently by the mountain.
raped and murdered,
By the mountain.
and their children.
And their children suckling from her breast. Whatever. All right,
Sure.
cool. Good to go.
Yep, and he is going after basically whoever killed her and who gave the order,
yes,
Which would be Tywin.
is what he believes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up to speed.
Up to
All right.
speed.
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Oberyn probably like dreamed of having this conversation with Tywin, like
It is
basically his whole life since preceding like that whole rape and murder and and all that jazz. He probably like just dreamed of having this conversation with Tywin, and then Cersei being there was just like an added bonus. I think.
Yeah, and then he got to
Why
put
is
it.
Cersei being there was an added bonus?
Well,
I'm
because
sorry.
she's a
Just
cunt.
another like
Oh, okay.
at this point, he's only talked to like Tyrion as a representative for the Lannister family, and I think he knows that Tyrion's. I mean, he just kind of gets shit on or whatever as being a a dwarf or whatever.
Yeah, and I do like with it where he's like, "Oh, Queen Regent. Oh, I'm sorry, former Queen Regent, Ilaria. This is Lady Cersei." It's like,
Oh yeah, it was like a good dig.
oh yeah,
Definitely.
just
Super good dig.
ah, that crown you wear must contort the neck, make it crick and crink. But now you don't have to do that. Those quick little jabs and everything, and even with the gout line from from Tywin, where he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm sure your brother will get over the gout." Yeah, we know it as the rich man's disease. I'm surprised you don't have it. It's 'cause you're the richest fucking man in the country.
Yeah.
All
you
this
should
shit.
have gout by now.
Yeah, exactly.
What, do we have like Google Maps going on here?
Yeah, turn that shit off.
Sorry, Google. Fuck off.
God damn it. We got a show, peeps.
Fuck off, Alexa.
Turn left now.
Um,
Sitting.
Luke, while you're distracting everyone, why don't
You know,
go ahead and say your
it's
fucking
nice to see
thing?
that the pleasantries were at least met. In this conversation, they keep it moving and PC in a productive way.
I feel like this is not the first time I have said like that type of politics or PC or
Keeping
smiling,
your face.
keeping the face. That
I
is a
fucking hate
skill I will never have. I'm really
I am
sorry.
a Ned Stark.
I will lose.
I
my
don't
mind.
like this.
The kid that blurted out, "Pussy, you're a fucking pussy" at the pool today. There was no PC about me. I turned around and I told him straight up, "Southernest I could come. I think you should watch your mouth, honey." And he said, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" I said, "Look at me. I know you've never seen a fucking pussy before in my life. I'm gonna bet my fucking all my money on it. You want me to follow your home to your mama's house?" And he looked at me. I said, "'Cause I fucking will. My kids don't need to learn that word today."
You went country grammar on his ass.
No, it's not even that. It's like I kids couldn't even take it. This poor little kids. Anyways, this is a skill I wish I had. I wish I could just turn the other cheek.
But at least you don't make idle threats.
I did never.
Sure.
I will never.
Because you would have followed that kid home to his mama's house.
Yeah.
Crutches and all.
See, I
Here,
fall
slow
into
down.
this aspect of the passive aggressive, like, okay, yeah, sure.
I just can't.
I will absolutely do that for you, customer. I'll be there at 4 p.m. when we said you'd be there at 11, but then I show up at 9:30. Oh, you're home. Hey, how about I do that job for you now? Very.
You're the worst.
I am not passive aggressive.
I'm very passive aggressive.
Directly aggressive.
To the point, yes.
Aggressive or not. You choose.
You
God, I can't take it.
Okay, are we done with that?
Yeah,
Sure.
sorry, Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Over it, Markel.
Over it.
Glenn, do
You get to
you
be
have a
Martell? Thanks.
Overlook.
do you have a thought on this scene, or
Or
did
no,
you already
yeah,
did you already
I
put yours out there?
I already said my
Okay.
said my thing.
Okay.
We are gonna move to the final scene.
Final scene.
Cheers it up.
These are the worst cheersing cans
Hey,
ever. Cheers to Bailey.
Bailey,
Get your
cheers.
bowl. There you go.
But
Blue-
we need
blue
the
wine.
we need the box up for the
I'm
cheers.
still like dumbfounded by her cup. I don't understand.
It's,
She's
it's,
drinking
it's
okay.
a stemless wine.
It's-
glass.
Blueberry wine, I think.
No, it's not blue. It's just regular wine. It's,
paint.
the cup.
Is that
Abby,
not blue?
Abby, it's painted from here to here.
She's
No.
drinking paint.
Yeah, Abby, it's painted from here to here.
And she keeps turning it. And I'm just so drunk. It looks amazing.
Bob Ross wine.
Bob Ross.
Happy little
I
clouds.
need a fucking
Happy
birds.
little
Got it.
wine.
We got it. We got birds. Understood.
All right, tell us about this final scene.
This final scene, we got giant baby pussy, Marjorie, Tyrion, Sansa, Cersei, Tywin, Mace, Olenna, Loras, Tommen, Jaime, Varys, dwarfs, and the court.
All
Dwarves.
of King's
I tried to
Landing
get
is there.
tried to get all of them in, like every named character in. At least I saw.
Just to give Glenn his moment.
Yeah,
My
We're talking about GVP, Marjorie Tyrell.
Tyrion, Sansa, Cersei.
Okay. The War of the Five Kings. Tyrion is challenged by baby pussy, and it turns back on him as he explains that, you know, the War of the Five Kings, the Dwarf War, you know, was kind of a poor reenactment of Joffrey's own bravery on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was painful to watch. I mean, for
Right.
us and for everyone
Else.
actually in there watching it. Like you get like,
apart from who?
Joffrey.
Cersei.
well, Cersei,
Yeah.
Cersei and Joffrey were the
I
two
don't think
that
Dem-
it's
I
not
liked.
Dem
painful for
Lannisters.
Cersei.
Tywin was chuckling to, or at least
No.
yes. Oh, but
Okay.
He
Here's-
there was a scene where he
You're
chuckled.
right.
he
But
was
I-
grinning the whole time. Those three.
Put it on a
I think
face a
you're
little bit,
reading
though.
it wrong
Put
because
it on
I
a
feel
face
like
on it.
How about
Cersei is doing that nervous laugh. Like that nervous, like,
no, just put the face
you're
on.
so cute.
Fair, then that could be.
And
But I think
Definitely. I
Tywin
fucking
is.
enjoy this.
This is the first time Tywin's grinned. Like Tywin sat there with a fucking grin on his
took
face.
it as like a
Because he-
backhanded grin, though, like a oh my god.
But Tywin doesn't do that. He doesn't give a shit what people are thinking, and so that
He
that's-
doesn't care what people
He
think.
absolutely
No.
That's
cares.
all that matters is what people
That's
think of the
it.
family. That's the only thing.
Joffrey just made a
That's the only
circus
thing.
when it comes to
of
this
his
kind of stuff, he
family.
doesn't give a fuck.
No,
No, he does because he cannot go against what Joffrey is so adamantly all for. It's the same thing that he can't stand up when Joffrey
You know what's
is doing
amazing?
something against Tyrion in such a public
this
thing. He has to just
show
Okay.
smile and
We
let it
have-
happen.
absolutely
Yeah, I mean, I'm-
two different
I will.
feelings about this.
Right?
I will defer that.
And I can't discount the way you feel because I can see it being like that.
You know, but I see, I see it as, Tywin's like, he and he's not laughing. He's like, Cersei has more of a, Joffrey's doing his big old bold, "Ah."
Look at how great I am.
Cersei's like, because she's thinking, this is pissing Tyrion off. And Tywin's like, this is showing my accomplishment. Even though it might be Joffrey taking the,
I see it as Tyrion or Tywin seeing this is showing my ass.
All right, can we take a timeout real quick? Let's have Bailey tell her no, because I guess we're pretty much saying it right now.
yeah.
Go ahead and Bailey say your piece. Or
Bail us out.
I mean,
Bales.
just everyone's faces as they're trying to sit through this is priceless. And then Marjorie's side-eyed to Joffrey as the whole thing goes on.
Oh yes, what a wife! She wifed right there. That's it.
She mom looked
She's
without
like,
the
well,
mom.
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm definitely going to give you a look.
I will
Yeah.
definitely kill you with my eyeballs right now. It's just-
How about Loris's reaction to all this?
Well,
He
that-
couldn't
well,
even.
he walks away. Yeah.
right.
yeah. And
I mean, because it's literally him specifically being made fun of with Renly's, right? I
yeah,
mean,
because like,
and everyone knows that.
I know.
and I never caught that until
Really?
literally this watch through. I mean, I always saw him walking through, but I never paid that much attention. You have Stannis writing the Red Woman. You have Renly writing Loris.
I
It's
didn't
fucking
catch Stannis riding the Red Woman.
Yeah.
I didn't
I think
catch that.
Renly writing Loris was like added by one of the directors or somebody just to like know who Renly was or something.
Yeah.
So like the kids at home would realize that was
I
Renly.
would
And I'm not
say-
gonna lie, I like this adaptation better than the dwarves in the book. Because there is a dwarves jousting scene in the book.
This is
This is
a
that.
good show at change.
I
And
like this, yeah, to piss Tyrion off, but also to piss everyone else off.
It's good.
I like this, because it shows how much of a cunt Joffrey really is.
It really
it's cutting for
drives it
everyone.
home.
Yeah.
in the room.
Yeah.
It's not just Stannis. It's not just Renly. It's not just Robb Stark. There are so many people
So,
in this room or
my
in this area
First
that are
point.
directly aligned with these people that are being put on blast.
My first point on this whole thing, and then it just kept going, and we'll keep going here, was the first like scene of them battling leads me to believe that they think that Stannis is no threat. Like he has been defeated. That is
Pretty
how
much
this
because of the Blackwater, Stannis
Yeah.
was defeated.
But
in their
Stannis
mind-
is not defeated at this point.
To the common
from-
folk and to
not
the
dead.
lower court, he is.
Right. Like I hadn't realized that part of it until now, like watching this reenactment of how Joffrey became the king of the five, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they think he's down and out. Like he's just regrouping. This is a rebuilding year for him. Like that's it.
Yeah, but are
It's-
you going to do that?
But in fairness, he is the most victorious.
Right. I think he put this whole thing on. He's going to make sure that he wins
he
in
looks-
this little dwarf battle.
But I just wondered, like, do they really?
Propaganda.
I get that, but I just wondered, do they really feel like Stannis has been defeated? Like after
Joffrey
this,
For
Joffrey
PR?
probably
Yes.
does. Yeah.
Okay.
They have to show that, hey, we are top
Stannis
dog.
has
We
been-
are the only
okay.
dog.
Exactly.
Because we won the battle of the
Rob's
Blackwater.
dead.
He's
or
nothing.
Renly's
Okay.
dead.
Dem
Stannis is
dog.
beaten. And it's
I think I
Greyjoy.
brought into their propaganda.
Balon
I kind of feel
Greyjoy.
pretty shitty right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like-
regardless if they actually believe that, they have to show that.
They're showing that that's. I was wondering, I guess, do they believe that Stannis is literally no longer a threat? Because wrong.
There's some people that probably know that Stannis is still a threat.
Yeah.
Some of the smarter folk,
Tyrion.
the Tyrions is,
Tywins.
the Tywins is probably. Joffrey definitely
tease.
doesn't think that Stannis is a threat anymore because he
Has a
himself,
weird story.
no army at all. He went out there on the battlefield, defeated every single one of them
himself.
himself.
One-on-one
Blowing-
combat.
Dragon
blowing
fire
all of them.
or black. What
Blowing
is
all of-
wildfire out of his mouth like a
Yep,
dragon?
yep,
he could
did
fly.
that.
Yeah, he
That
did
was
it
all
all.
him. So
Yeah, you're probably
I
right,
would
Glenn.
give credit where credit is due.
And-
Good job.
And right now, credit is due to Glenn.
Okay. Everyone say their
Yeah.
thing.
Yep. So then we have the actual final scene.
Actual final scene. The king needs a new cupbearer. Benji.
It's not here.
He's not here. We'll skip whatever he
Nope.
said.
No, you're fine. All right, where are we at? We're on the second.
The actual final scene.
Actual final scene. We will go with that first Neil. It's so nasally and just pussy filled, where he's like, "Oh, cupbearer, you need the one final thing." Neil. That's the most I've loathed GBP this entire fucking series, and there's a lot of shit I can hate him for. But that one, where it's right in front of everybody, you're just ultimately trying to be the biggest fucking dick in the world because you can. And it just, I don't know. That's the scene where up until now I was like, he's a dick. I like the bad guys. I'm that guy who I will always kind of fall to the evil side of liking people. And I've never literally liked him because he's just been a whiny little bitch. But that one, it's like, fuck you. That one
guy that can't back it up.
Yes,
is the problem.
Yeah, and that's that first Neil, where it's just like Neil, that sniveling fucking just Neil, it just bugged the shit out of me.
Look, you little motherfucker.
Fucking snivelous,
You little dick cock butt.
fucking snivelous.
Draco.
Snivelous Pettigrew.
Baby Snape.
Yes,
Baby Snape.
Fucking worst. I hate
older Malfoy.
I hate Snape. He sucks.
Lucius.
Agreed.
Hans Gruber.
No, he's definitely
Hans-
Draco.
Hans Wyman.
He's definitely a Draco.
Yeah.
At least Lucius has something to. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh my
I'm done.
God. A
He's-
bro
he's
is not
done.
bro without bros.
Luke.
The-
Gruesome. right?
yeah, it's-
Am I right?
you said it.
Abby.
Um,
Do you have anything else?
I just said like this
He
is
didn't.
just so distasteful. And Tyrion is a mad genius at the way he's working this scene. He really is. Like
Yeah.
this is mad genius. You go out there and you show them. I saw your heroism. Heroism. That's a new word. apparently.
Heroism.
Heroism.
Heroism. Thank you, Luke. He's like my spell check. Autocorrect. That's Luke for me. So
Auto Luke.
auto talk, Luke. So
Do you want smarmy?
no, I would just
Smarmy
like
time?
God,
you
no.
to say
100%.
Smarmy's the best.
Heroism.
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 Spell bunt.
Because I'm trying to.
BUNDT.
I'm just trying to look over here and spell over here and talk over there. So, anyways, there we go. So let me see what you showed all of us. I saw your heroism, and I just thought he was just this mad genius. He never said a bad thing about that king. He never said a bad thing. You cannot get mad at him. And then my notes kind of wanted to go ... and it just keeps getting worse. Like, it was already bad. And here we go. So,
like the moment where Tyrion is like, Sansa, let's leave. Like, let's go clean up.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. He has to pee. Like in the books, it's like a big part. He's like, I have to go pee.
Yeah,
so bad because he's been
hammering
There's
it.
no international symbol for I have to pee.
It's like again, book knowledge. Like, think of that feeling, and then Tyrion goes through this bullshit.
yeah.
That Joffrey's putting him through, and it's just like, can I just fucking leave for 10 minutes?
I gotta rip one.
Yeah,
I gotta go rip one.
And before your note, Glenn, mine kind of falls into that where he stands up to go, and I'm sorry, Bailey, and Tyrion's like, and he's like, "Where are you going, Uncle?" And Tyrion's like, "I thought he'd go get changed out of these wet clothes. Well, I also have to pee, and Joffrey's like, "Oh no, you're perfect, just the way you are.
You're perfect.
Just the way you
Almost
are.
taken out of context, completely sweet. Oh no, you're perfect, just the way you are." And I've saw that GIF and meme, and I'm sorry, GIF. I'm sorry, GIF.
I do
peanut
like
butter.
Jif peanut butter, extra crunchy.
That
please.
GIF
I like
and
Peter
meme.
Pan.
Oh no, you're perfect just the
Creamy.
way you are. And I always think of that when I see the scene. It's like, no, you can't be better. So there we go.
You just are what you are.
You just are what you are.
You are what you are, Bailey.
Yeah.
I mean, the only comment I have on this one, and it kind of goes into the next scene, is, look, the pie!
The dead
Marjorie's just
dove.
trying so hard.
I know. She's perfect. She really is perfect. Can we all agree?
She really is.
And Abby, it's not dead dove pie. There were live fucking doves coming out of that pie.
No.
Live and dead.
Live
pie.
and dead.
There were dead pigeons in the pie.
Pigeon pie? Is that
It's
literally
pigeon.
what it is?
It's pigeon pie.
So they just left him
Dove.
feathered in the pie?
It's more of a showy thing. Like, oh, someone's popping out of the cake. They do it for
Or like when
they hit it
Just
with
there to be fancy.
Okay.
Well,
it's
no,
just to be fancy.
when Lloyd from
No, she's talking about after they slice it and they cut away and there's dead birds.
There's dead birds
It's dead
in them.
pigeons. Doves fly out, but it's pigeon in the
Pigeon.
pie.
Okay, but why would they
dry,
not defeather the pigeons? He killed pigeons on the way down with a slice.
No.
Yeah,
Does-
but
Yes.
he also didn't cook them.
Yeah.
While
Oh my goodness.
there were
Even if it's pigeon pie,
they were defeathered.
They would be defeathered, deboned, deveined, whatever you fuck you do with them, sauced in, whipped up.
poultry eyes.
They don't
Yes.
know Gordon Ramsay,
Whatever.
okay? They just
No,
throw the
no,
pigeons.
He killed on the way down.
They
He
do.
killed
They do.
one.
They would
like-
at least
They know
defeather those
Gordon Ramsay
motherfuckers.
of house food.
He sliced through it like an asshole and killed some of the doves. And those dead doves are what you
Right.
see.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I'll pull back because I think
He killed a couple on the way in.
okay,
And
fair
you
enough.
see their
And
beaks
I guess
and
maybe
their
that's also their way of
eyeballs.
showing, hey, there's actual. This is pigeon pie. There's birds in here. So okay, fair.
And we've seen this before in films like Dumb and Dumber, where Lloyd Christmas goes to pick up Mary Swanson, and she just opens the door and doves fly out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he bit off his head. he ripped off,
Dream sequence.
he ripped off
I
Petey's
hate
head.
birds.
Oh my god.
I sold a sack of marbles, some baseball cards. Petey,
You sold my
sold
headless
dead
bird.
to a blind kid. Harry,
Petey want a cracker?
That dead
Petey
dumb
want a
black kid
cracker?
sure plays a mean pinball.
I took care of it. Okay,
All right.
so I said kneel.
Yeah, it's like I am the king. That's the equivalent of I am the king. Yeah. That's
I am the king. I am the king.
yeah.
Okay.
That's,
Where are we at?
so we got. I think
There, some of these aren't. The last like two lines aren't labeled.
yeah.
Basically, what happens is they play this game of get my goblet. You're the cupbearer. Give me some wine. Eventually, Joffrey starts kind of like
He eats a little bit of the pie.
Kick
a little bit of the
Says
pie.
dry. Takes
really
a drink
dry,
of
takes a
of
drink,
the cup.
and just kind of a little bit of like kind of trying to clear his throat, like, you know.
Pie's good, but it's a little dry.
Frank,
Needs
Frank.
washing
Just a
down.
little.
Merchandise rice.
And what's his name? The guy in the original Americana suit.
Dantos.
No. He's got like the Americana shield and stuff. Way a long time ago, tells Sansa, come with me.
Yeah. Trope warning. Come with me if you want to live. Dantos.
He was
Dantos.
That was Dantos.
Dantos.
The fool.
Yeah, the
Dantos
fool.
the fool.
Did you see episode 1? Did you actually go back and rewatch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the one they gave
in
her
that
that
episode-
He gives a necklace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, like all before that, Joffrey starts kind of choking, and then eventually he croaks.
He dies.
He
I
dies.
mean, he bites the bullet. He eats
Sure.
the pie. He rolls on over.
Right. And I think I remember my first cup of wine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this is where my gruesome comment.
This is
was.
what-
Yeah.
meant
This
for
is
the
where the
before.
purple
It's-
and purple wedding comes from.
Yes, and first time watcher. This is why it's called the purple wedding. We have Rob's red wedding for
Yeah,
all
it's
the blood
awful.
spilled.
Fuck
This is
that.
the purple wedding for the face that.
Because of lack of oxygen. I mean, are we just supposed to be led to believe that he was poisoned or...
Well,
We'll
we'll
get
get
to
to that
that.
in your speculations. How about that? But either way, the face, the color of his face is why they call it the purple wedding.
Yeah. Bailey, any thoughts?
I mean, everyone summed up exactly what I had to say.
And you sound great.
Yes. Well reasoned.
Well reasoned.
Yeah, so
Was this the Ravenclaw common room?
My only thing is with this, like, for once, Sansa, somebody's telling you to go. Come with me, Sansa. Go on the ship, Sansa.
let's get out of Dodge.
Does she go?
Fucking listen.
Does she go?
This time, listen. I'll be safe in King's Landing. No.
Okay.
She doesn't go.
Fair
Because
enough.
her
And then
and
we
Tyrion have
end the
little Tyrion
episode
babies.
on Abby, or on Bailey. What song do we end the episode on?
Beats the shit out of me.
On
That-
Abby, what do we end the episode on?
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
One, something wrong with me. Two,
All right,
something wrong.
right.
drowning
Because
pool?
Glenn and Luke give me shit all the time for bringing it up.
Dem rains.
Dem rains. Yeah.
Sorry,
Closing
And-
credits
I wasn't
on.
You know,
that.
Abby,
It was a
Benji
different-
instilled that value in you.
I said that
every
like
time.
twice, and now it's a
you really played it up.
it's a meme. No, fine,
You've been memed.
fine.
But this was a new version of it. It
was.
was a very. I mean, it's
Yeah, it was it was a higher pitched and a little bit
In
lighter.
This episode 2, during the wedding scene, whatever, there's the, I don't know the name of it, is like the bear, the maiden fair.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
like super,
they
like,
had a dancing bear.
jazzy too. I don't know. Both of them. Jazzy.
that was in there.
Super jazz.
Jazz-
I'm not gonna lie, I
had
missed
that-
I think
that.
they
in this
play. I
episode?
think they play that at like ceremonies and stuff like that. I think it was played
It's
somewhere
like
in the
a
thing.
wedding song. I mean, it's
I mean-
like, hey, we're getting like the party.
It's the duck
going.
dance.
But
It's a
both of them are-
No,
Like,
it's
up-
like celebration.
Whoa,
Oh.
too soon. Duck dance,
Duck
too
dance.
soon.
Fuck. This is not funny. I literally cried. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm going to hell, but
in a handbasket over
I'm going to
here.
hell in a handbasket. But hell is Earth, so I'm already here.
But so
Yeah.
I forgive you,
I'm
Glenn.
sorry
The Lord of
to the
Light
families.
forgives you.
Let's take a cheers
Ooh,
to
baby.
the families that were
You know
affected
what
by
it's
the
worth. Ooh, baby.
It's like
this
right
is
in the
hell.
Dutch
tragedy at Table Rock Lake.
Yeah.
I apologize for my statements. And
Mid Missouri, Glenn, send him your emails or tweets.
you are now banned from Branson for 4 years.
No.
me, I
All right.
haven't been, I haven't
I
been
did
there.
not
in-
condone any of this.
I haven't been there in like 15 years. So
Abby's going tomorrow.
I'm going on
what's
20.
another 4?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to North Carolina.
Yeah.
So, see you later.
Anyway, all right. My only last note is actually Cersei kind of makes me feel bad.
Almost.
almost.
I don't know if
It's one of those.
I get it, but I don't know if I feel
It's
if
the
I-
movie shit. Diggory. Diggory's dad in the movie.
Amos Diggory?
Amos Diggory in the movie
Amos Jelly.
because he was such a dick. And
He was not. Amos
book
Diggory was a
book wise,
Amos Diggory
I
too.
felt bad for him. Book wise, I felt bad for him. Movie wise, he was an asshole. And
He was not. He was a proud father.
oh
of
no,
his son and his
I'm sorry,
accomplishments.
reversed.
Liar.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
Faulty.
Reverse.
I'm reversing. I know
This
Bailey.
Is, this is such an interesting group to talk about
I know,
Amos Diggory.
I know, but I'm reversing on it. Book wise, he was a dick. Movie wise, it felt like it was fitting. So I'm sorry. I take that back. But
let me say the exact opposite of what I was saying.
No,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know.
So, but it's one of those of Cersei at that point where as much shit and bitchiness as she's done and put everyone else through, that's still her first son.
She watched her kid die.
And
that's as true as you can be.
Yeah, it sucks. And that's probably the first time I've ever truly felt something for her.
I don't know. I find her definitely to be a compelling character.
Yeah.
Many
absolutely.
ways, and a very real character in a lot of ways. And I can feel for her here, and not even just here. I mean, there are other places where she's conniving. Yeah, she's a bitch.
Yeah,
just like
lack of better terms,
flat out. Just a bitch, but at the same time, she's still human, and that's I think the moral of all of these stories. For the most part, there are very few non-human characters. They're still people.
No, absolutely.
We Am's people too,
but then she completely flips it around.
Am's people.
She flips it on its head right at that moment. Because you feel for her when she's holding Joffrey.
That's her boy.
And you feel, but then automatically him.
Right? Yeah. No, it's like
I think Joffrey kind of points the finger. He lifts his finger up like.
Just one of these.
Yeah. But at the same time, she was ready to jump on it.
Yeah, I agree there.
Jump on it. Thank you, Luke.
She's ready to jump on it. So it's kind of one of those. There was like a good. There's a good 6 seconds of like, damn. Okay. Shit. Oh, really? But at the same time, who's to know? Tyrion might have done it.
Once could Tyrion not be blamed for the murder, pushing kid off the tower once?
All right, like Burger King, we got to wrap this whopper up.
Yeah,
okay. We will go to episode title accuracy: The Lion and the Rose.
Sure, there was a wedding
and the wardrobe.
And there was a. Oh my God, that dress.
So
wardrobe.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it should have been lion, stag, and robe.
No.
Just he was a lion. His sigil was lion and stag.
The lion/stag.
Why was she
and the
just
rose.
a Tyrell and he is a Lannister hybrid?
Baratheon. Because he is the reason he's king is because he's Baratheon.
But he's not.
He's but he's
no one else knows that.
Yes. But he holds both houses in high regard, so he was a Baratheon and a Lannister.
Blah, blah,
so that's why his sigil
that's why he's a pussy, because he can't make up his goddamn mind.
His sigil was actually a lion and a stag together. But
together.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yep.
I mean, for the record, Marjorie's mother was a Hightower, which is just Old Town, which is basically just more reach. So there's no regional differences there.
Okay.
So it's a cross section of Westerlands and Stormlands, as opposed to here's just two the two houses in the Reach.
All right.
Does that help?
Fine.
Okay.
Description accuracy: The Lannisters and their guests gather in King's Landing. Stannis loses patience with Davos. Ramsay finds a purpose for his pet.
Stannis?
I don't
Davos?
know. Does he really lose patience with Davos? I mean, they kind of come at odds a little bit, but
it's every day.
It wasn't.
He snarks him.
It wasn't like the I'm going to kill you.
No.
I'm sentencing you to death,
really
which is what happened last episode.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean I agree. Like it was basically. I forgot what I was going to say, but run of the mill Stannis. Yeah, this is the same thing that's happened the whole goddamn season, or their whole relationship, the whole series.
They're like an old married couple,
kind of like this.
They?
And it's like
one's a hothead, and one tries to cool him down.
Now he's losing patience.
So
don't kill me yet.
Honest question.
I'm still Hand of the King. you sentenced me to death. But you haven't denounced me as Hand of the King, so I'm going to advise against this.
Right? Like
maybe I loved that.
Maybe last episode, it would have been more fitting. Maybe as Stannis loses patience with Davos.
I feel like I agree. That
like
fits
this
last
is
episode
he
better.
just kind of said what he thought about the whole burning at the stake of all them peoples and stuff like that, and it is what it is. And then Ramsay finds a purpose for his pet, and that I guess is shaving.
Yeah, that and
Well,
kind of
when
walking
they
around behind the hunting.
But when they say that they're going to go to where are they going from here? They say it specifically.
Where do they go
in
from here?
the
I'm
episode.
feeling this. Turn the lights down.
God damn it! Why am I so drunk at this point? I should know more.
That's because you broke your leg.
God darn it! Yeah, I am on painkillers, straight painkillers and drinking.
I don't know where they said they were going.
Bolton
It was
says,
in the second scene. Roos says
yeah,
this.
so he says, you take him to wherever the iron boards are that hold.
Moat Kalen.
Moat Kalen.
You
Sure.
know what? Fuck, I didn't know that. That's in my notes.
Yeah, because that's why
Kalen.
Roos had to smuggle himself
Yes.
through there, basically.
Because he might Reek or Theon might be of use there. So that's like where they're headed to.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And if you look at the map,
There
they
it
basically
is.
went through the neck.
Somewhere over there.
But we won't do that now because
We got big butts, so we cannot
All right.
lie.
Are we done with that or no?
I think we're
Yes.
done with that.
Got it.
Is that
I
accurate?
see it.
I'm going to give it a 3/5.
3.0.
3/5 accurate.
Okay, cool.
Like a voting record.
Least favorite thing. What
my
was your
God.
least favorite thing, Benji?
By design, giant baby pussy. I love this episode. It was a very good episode. Really nothing bothered me. There were some not very many slow points, but God, fucking Joffrey just pissed me off.
God damn it.
Yeah, he just did. But again, it was by design, so that's
By
my least favorite
design.
thing. But it's not really the worst.
Okay, Luke.
I really hate to hate on Shay so much, but like when she starts crying,
God damn.
Oh, yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
it's
I
just
feel like she knew she was
so
coming.
frustrating.
Frustrating.
All right, Big Bill.
It's frustrating.
This is serious.
And like I'm all for book Shay. I appreciate a lot more. Show Shay is rough. That's when she starts crying
Show Shay.
after he shows her the door.
Shoshay?
Yeah.
Show Shay redemption.
Shoshay is truff.
Always
It's shruff.
Say that
a
10
second.
Show Shay is shruff.
Oh, no, I hit the
Show
same
Shay
thing.
is
And he likes to overtime.
Anyway,
Damn, he's so much quicker than us. over here. We always just have your thoughts
So
3
that's-
seconds after you've already said them.
That's your favorite thing. Okay, cool.
that's not my favorite thing at all.
No, it is. Bailey, your least favorite thing?
I mean, I feel like my least favorite thing always is Bran. I don't understand his scenes.
I'm pretty much right there with you,
understand him.
Bailey. You know, it's one of those.
They would not like Professor Trelawney's class.
Well, there wasn't that much with. There's just wasn't it just that one
Yeah.
scene
But
with
there's
them?
flashes and there's things and they touch it and then wham!
Let them have their
I don't get any of it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean,
sunglasses.
it's one of those of I can appreciate it for as quick as it was. That's why I didn't pick it as my favorite. It was because it was a quick, 3-minute scene. Okay, here we go. That's it. But yeah, nothing happened. There was absolutely nothing happened in that scene
It
apart from
contributed nothing to the episode.
We're just here,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I touched a tree, and then I
Yep.
saw stuff, and like at this point, you don't know at all really what that means at all.
no. Exactly, Glenn. And that's the best way I can put it. And I didn't even put it that way. Glenn did. So,
Sure.
so Glenn, what was your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing. I mean, I like the episode, but and they do this every now and then. They just kind of leave certain stuff out of the episode.
Yeah,
And I really like the Jon Snow
Yeah.
stuff or whatever. So
yeah, because there was no
Jon Snow.
and that's all that was in the episode was who the fuck is Jon Snow?
Yeah. So there's no Jon Snow. There's no Danny. There's no Samwell.
Wildling, no stir fry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we get Abby's before she wandered off?
No, we didn't.
she didn't. We'll get both of them at the same time.
All right. Well,
Favorite thing then?
favorite thing. All right.
You have me to go?
No, yeah, go
You're
ahead.
the host. You pick.
Yep.
I will go. I think probably the Purple Wedding is my favorite thing. Just I could see that happening. I could guess that, but especially after the red wedding, I didn't see it coming like this quickly, I guess. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
more stuff would happen then, like eventually, but it was really quick, and what was this season or episode 2?
Yeah. So you got
3.
Well, 3 episodes in between because 8. Well, because
It was 9.
Yeah, 9.
10, 1, and 2.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like 2.5.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a big part of it is if we think back to the Mel burning the leeches thing, it's like, well, they gotta start dropping like flies, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's how it works.
which for the record, flies are sometimes hard to kill. You guys can speak to that better than I can.
Well,
But
no, the flies themselves aren't hard. It's the larvae that you got to worry about.
those-
It's the kids you got to worry about.
dem kids.
Bailey?
I mean, my favorite thing was definitely the purple wedding. I could not wait to see Joffrey die.
I mean, you picked this episode to join our show. We gave you the choice of what episode you wanted, and you wanted this one, correct?
Yes.
And it was for that scene. Yes or
it
no?
was specifically for Joffrey dying.
there we go. He gone.
He gone.
Hey, too soon.
Too soon.
I knew
Too
what I
soon,
was
Glenn.
choosing.
Yeah. No,
Not
absolutely.
soon enough.
So, Abby, you walked away
Sorry.
before.
Yeah, you
That's
got-
okay.
You got your least favorite thing and your favorite thing.
Yep.
At least her thing, no Arya.
No Arya.
Okay, fair.
True.
Never cool.
Is that a musical term?
No Arya and Hound.
There was no Arya.
No
in this
chickens.
orchestra. Sorry.
It's okay. My favorite thing would probably be the fact I would have used this last episode, but since it wasn't part of it, there was Braun.
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 One off the list,
Braun or Yoren?
Braun. I just had more time with him.
Sure.
That's all.
And that's fair. That's fair.
That's all.
I just knew how big of a
Good
Yoren fan
I
you
was
were.
a huge Jordan fan.
Yorn.
And that Bjorn.
Braun or Littlefinger.
And
Bjorn.
Luke has allowed me to listen and read the first books, and Yorn is definitely
We're
in
getting
them.
real close. I think you probably read book 2 now. At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're
book
we're
2.
done with
And
2.
it's kind of like killing me because I'm like, I really love
And actually, you might be.
know
No, no, yeah, no.
At
2.
least
I
I
think
believe.
you're safe on 2.
Yeah, I think you're safe,
Safe
on 2.
on
So,
2.
officially.
Ride home.
You've been
There we
released.
go.
There you go.
You have been released. You've signed your papers.
Release
So-
the meteor, Luke.
All right, my favorite thing is, in all honesty, the brand scene. I love the Weirwood net stuff. I love
You
the.
get off to that. Yeah, okay.
I was jacking off when we were talking about it. You guys didn't see it because I'm on this side of the table. But no, I really appreciate not knowing what all of it means.
Yeah.
And because that's the kind of stuff that keeps me intrigued. If I knew all the answers, it would be less interesting.
It'd be less interesting.
Yeah. You know, as Glenn would say, it'd be less interesting. And I don't know. I find those questions and that
Answers.
opportunity for tinfoil and how does this connect and will it connect? And it, like Abby said earlier, sometimes prophecy doesn't happen. Those are the things that I appreciate about this story.
Yeah.
And because it makes you question, like, how true is that stuff? Like, we just don't know. And
we don't.
It's not so clear cut on, oh, well, here's this character's intentions and here's his political views and let's just, see how they clash. It's interesting, but it's pretty easy to tell who's going to end up winning when you put golden dragons behind it and swords and hands.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell where it's going to go. It's these unforeseen things that I find most interesting.
Most interesting.
No, that's
As
fair.
Glenn would say, most interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, thanks.
We're gonna move on to other
Hey.
podcasts.
Hey.
There's still more favorite things. There's still more.
Did you get yours?
No, I didn't get mine in yet.
No.
Mine's pretty.
Never mind. Go. Go.
And I would just. Yeah. My favorite thing is, honestly, for the first time ever, it's a Tyrion and Shay scene. I loved that Tyrion finally did what he needed to do to protect himself and to protect Shay. As much as I don't like the actor or the portrayal of Shay in the show,
You still don't want her to fucking get
yeah,
killed.
I don't
or,
want her to
like,
get killed. I
anything.
don't want her to get fucking owned because she's doing who she's doing. But Tyrion finally stepped up as much as it hurt him to do. He fucking did it and got rid of her. You know, she gone. Bye, girl. You know,
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. You know, and it sucks, you know, when you're in that breakup mode and you're just, I'm done. I gotta, you know, yes, you are the
And
best
sometimes
head in
it's-
the world.
Sometimes it's
But-
not, I don't even want this, but this is what has to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just a very good scene on Peter Dinklage's part, hers, meh, okay, but
I don't think she's as horrible as you guys think.
that's fair.
Just throwing it out there.
That's fair.
To be fair.
No, and that's fair. Her part, actually, she did play it well because, again, as we talked about differences between show and book, show-wise, there was this cold-hearted separation of she's her whore, she's her whore, or she's his whore and all that. But this one, it did show emotion on both their parts, and it was a well-done scene. So,
All right, Glennie, wrap us up.
Sure. We are going to move on to other podcasts. We're going to talk about the podcast that must not be named. Bailey, go ahead.
So, the podcast that must not be named is a Harry Potter podcast that stays completely spoiler-free up until the final episode of each season. So, I fully recommend this podcast if you have not read Harry Potter because it is amazing.
And you can learn more at thepodcastthat.com. All right. First time watcher on the wall predictions.
That'd be me.
That would be you.
All right. Prediction number one. Bran needs to go to King's Landing, to the Godswood. Is that what they call it in King's Landing? Or what is that, like, sacred?
Godswood is it's
Is
for
that
the seven, yeah.
in King's, okay.
Where Sansa's been going.
Yep.
It's the Godswood.
That's where he needs to go.
okay.
Miranda will become
to go to King's Landing.
one of Ramsay's victims.
Okay.
Sansa and Tyrion have babies.
Yummy.
And I'm going
For
to
breakfast,
throw
or-
this out there. I think they're going to have 2 girls, then a boy.
Okay. I like the specifics.
I
I appreciate
I don't
that.
mind being wrong, but the reason I think this is because the girls are like treated so like less than. I think they're gonna have a baby, not a boy. A baby, not a boy. Then a boy. Finally.
A third child being the boy.
Yeah, and then stop.
And he'll be all of the mountain size.
Or
Maybe.
Tyrion size,
Yeah,
but he's
I-
also like Tyrion 2.0.
Sorry.
And he's the shit because he was raised by 2 sisters.
So we got 3. Number 4. My prediction that I have written down is Brienne sees the good in people. Brian.
No, I was sorry.
Yeah,
Miss her-
Brienne sees the good in people.
What I mean by that is very much even what Cersei is saying. Like, you just follow on a whim. Over here, over there. But she will follow bad people because she sees what is good about them. Or she will follow... I don't know. I love her, but she sees the good in people to her own fault, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just also trying to type it in.
Yeah,
Because at some point we are going to go back and review all of your predictions
that
from
all came true. Except
from season
for
1.
one that you don't let me live down. One. You had one wrong.
From season 1 up until now. Like, I think that's going to be, because I think by the time we end it, if I'm praying and hoping, we're going to have like 1 or 2 weeks in between
Before
our
that.
final
Yeah.
episode to season 8, episode 1. And those 2 weeks are going to be covering Abby's fuck ups and Abby's right calls. No,
Alright, so there's been one.
1 week of fuck ups and 1 week of right calls.
There's one.
I'm just,
And how many people off the list have
yeah, how many people off the list?
Yeah, have we found on
gone,
my list?
gone but not forgotten?
Oh no. I'm gonna have to get like, where are they signs? Shit.
Where
They're
did
on
they-
the
where
boat.
Did, where did they go? Where are they going?
Where'd you go, Cotton Eye Joe? How?
Incredible.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from?
All right.
Cotton Eye Joe.
All right. Okay, now, ladies.
All right.
All right. Is that all of them? That's all 4?
That's all for
Oh, son of a gun. All right. We are going to move on to the house name, words, sigils, swords, and all that stuff.
House superlatives.
Oh Lord.
All right. Bailey, do you mind starting off? Or
Sure, I am Bailey of House Blend. My house words are, but first, coffee.
I'm sorry, Billy, to stop you. I read that today and I fucking lost it. I was laughing my ass off because my wife's a coffee addict and yes.
Caffeined.
Coffee.
Caffeined. Yes. I read that. I was like, oh, and she's like, what's so funny? I'm like, don't worry about it. But I was
House blend.
laughing
My
ass
desk
off.
at work is definitely dedicated to coffee.
Nice.
So I feel like all of these are appropriate.
Do go on.
My house sigil is a mermaid on a field of green.
Mm-hmm.
My house sword is Swizzle Stick. My house region is the Stormlands, and we pray to the Lord of Light. Our horse name is Biscotti, and our
out of
animal is Penelope the Palm Civet, which to those of you who don't know,
I don't know what the Palm
Civet, it's a cat that eats coffee beans and shits them out, which is the most expensive coffee known to man.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, no, fair. I'm like, what the hell's a Palm Civet? That makes sense. Yep.
It's a coffee cat, definitely.
The coffee cat.
Our ancestral home is the fort at Pike Place. Our hometown newspaper is the Morning Brew.
Fitting.
Nice.
Our famous house ancestor is Alfred Pete, who taught everybody who founded Starbucks everything they know. And my personal Twitter is @RiddleWrites.
Nice. And I've been waiting. You're the first one to go to the Lord of Light. I've been waiting for somebody on this damn show. Thank you. like every guest and every.
I felt like I had to choose something different.
Yeah, thank you.
I have never changed any of my stuff, but I feel like my change is coming.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you got a change coming?
A change.
Fair enough.
At least it's not every episode like someone was for a
Change
while.
and winter.
Well, you want to talk about your changes, or
I think I'm secure
Change
in
it,
my,
turn the
talk about
face around.
security.
not now? But
No,
Yeah,
I
go-
can change about it.
go ahead, Abby.
Okay,
and-
so I am Gertie of House Condescension. My words are, we don't quit. Our house sigil is a field of white with a raven sitting on top of a pointed chevron. My house sword is Gunther, aka the Battler.
Battler.
Battler. Yeah. My house region is north of the wall. We play to the old gods. My horse's name is Odin, and my animal's name is JJ, short for Judge Judy, because she's a honey badger and doesn't give a shit. My ancestral home is Gertie's Gallows. We read the Nightly Raven. My famous house ancestor is Casey Jones. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, which you should, I can be found at Go Home Gertie.
Luca.
My final thought, nada.
Nada.
Not a pro thought.
I am Lucan of House Blackmead. House words, ours is the drink. Our house sigil is an obsidian black chalice on a gold and blue checky background. I carry around a Valyrian steel axe called Sweet Sting. We are from the Riverlands because we do supply the Crossroads Inn with all of their meat needs.
Mad Neds.
Mad Neds. Thank you, Glenn. And we support, for religion, the old gods. I ride a horse called Cherry. A couple episodes ago, I mentioned she had a broken leg. She's coming back.
She have a broken femur.
A broken femur,
You know
And a fractured tibia.
and a fractured tibia. To be fair, but she's coming around. We haven't put a bullet in her yet. But I also have Paris the Parrot, and we shack up at Black Cask Keep and read the drowned word. I have a parrot. And our famous house ancestor is Ashmere Rivers. You'll learn more about him later. And you can follow me on my personal Twitter at Luca Ferocious.
Benji.
All right. I am Sly of House McLean. My official words, it's dangerous to drink alone. My unofficial words are... My house sigil is 3 gold triangles on a field of red and black.
How do you spell that onomatopoeia of... Is it KTCHAH?
So my
Also spelled onomatopoeia.
the sword I carry is Konami because they make blades of steel. I come from the Reach. I pray to the gods
Reach
of tits
around.
and wine. I ride Peach all night long. My animal of choice is Ares the Phoenix. I come from the Tower of Hera.
Watch out for Moldorn.
Thank you. We read the Daily Sun, and my great uncle John, the savior of winter celebrations, says yippee-ki-yay.
Thanks, John McClane.
You can find me at Sly McLean.
And I am Glenn of House Dog. My house words are: you miss 99% of the shots you don't
I
take.
just love it. 99% of the shots. There's 1% you don't take a shot, but you make it.
But it hits off you and deflects into the net. That's what happens.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
yep.
Ninja.
Anyways, House Sidge, Spuds McKenzie with the Wayne Gretzky jersey number 99. My house sword is Johnny Utah. House Region, The Vale. House Religion, Dem New Gods. Horse name, Horse Meat. My animal is Rich the Flying Squirrel. Ancestral home, Castle at Beast Mountain. I subscribe to the Moondor Bee. And my famous house ancestor, the Doof of Dunsandale.
The Doof of Dunsandale.
And that was a joke we made.
That was a joke that we made.
It's part of my fam. Personal Twitter at Popsicle Stan. So,
Final thought?
yeah.
See you, giant baby pussy.
Giant baby pussy.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
It's like seeing your kid graduate from high school or something like that. You
And
know,
then
where
you kill him.
You make a nickname for a character like that, and then they die
They've
off.
kind
So
of
it's
gone.
kind of
Yeah,
like
because that nickname only lasted from late season 2.
was it late
2-9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the lead. It was Blackwater episode.
Into Blackwater. Yeah, I think that's where that got
It was 8,
introduced.
because it was before Johnny was on. It was
My
8.
Okay.
Final thought is if you love nachos with jalapenos on them,
Dude, this beer.
get you some
Right?
Lil Lucy's hot pepper ale. You won't be disappointed.
It is a golden ale with serrano and jalapeno
It'll-
peppers added.
It'll put lead in your pencil.
Yeah, and
The road to ale is peppered with good intentions.
and for the spicy wimps out there like myself, it's drinkable. It is very drinkable.
Well,
So this
Anything's drinkable if
is
you're
actually
brave.
hitting close to home. This is brewed and canned by Weston Brewing Company, which is in Weston, Missouri. Which,
No
if
shit.
Jason Turnbull is listening, one of my best friends from college, lives in Weston, Missouri.
You stole my idea.
Same place that McCormick's whiskey is made.
Oh, hey.
yeah.
So if you've heard of McCormick's, Weston, Missouri.
Only their spices.
It's like
Western Missouri.
like
be the
45
place.
minutes north of Kansas City.
Okay.
It's a town
Oh, town in Missouri.
Western
It
Missouri.
exists.
on the border from Kansas.
All right.
There we go. All right, moving on. Become a patron to get access to our epilogue episode coming up next with our wonderful guest. Patreon.com/stayimaginary. Bailey, what has been your favorite thing about being a Patreon of the podcastthat.com?
I mean, it's definitely all of the things. I love supporting great content, and the podcast that has such amazing content, and I love every single podcast that you guys produce.
Hey.
Just how we scripted it. No, we appreciate
Yeah,
that.
your-
Thank you.
Your check's in the mail.
Your refund is.
For all the ways you can help keep our beer bank full, check out thepodcastthat.com/support.
Thanks for reading exactly how
How it's written.
Google Sheets breaks up the column.
Hugo.
Supportus.
Phonics is my friend.
Hooked on Phonics.
Phonics.
Onyx. All right, follow us on Twitter at @KnoAndDrink. Send us a digital raven, KnoAndDrink@gmail.com. Subscribe, like, rate, and leave comments on iTunes and YouTube.
And the YouTube.
And until next time,
As always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
as always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
As always, winter is coming, and so am I.
As always, stay imaginary.
And as always, keep reading.
Love it.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.